All right. Welcome to the stream, everybody. It's Thursday afternoon, so I'm back with some Soulherder. I'm Joe, and welcome. The list is the same as it was last time. I haven't felt like anything is lacking. Everything's been performing well. I've loved having 2 Uros. Thos has been doing pretty well. I just personally have felt like this card has been a bit of a journey of discovery for me. Like at first it just seemed like a very expensive Soulherder, and it is that, but the tap ability actually has been pretty relevant because if we get Uro down and an opponent just has a bunch of chump blockers for a while, if our clock is getting low, Thos is actually a really nice way to just like clear the way. On the opponent's end step, you can just tap out, maybe tap 1 or 2 of their creatures, untap, tap some more. At the very least, give them sort of unfavorable blocks or less favorable blocks. In best case scenario, you're just clearing the way for an Alpha Strike. That just ends the game. So in that sense, I've come to think of Thassa a little bit more as like a 4-drop Lavinia, as well as being a 4-drop Soulherder. Obviously doesn't do the same exact thing as Lavinia, but when I was playing that card in the main deck, I was very often fetching it in order to Alpha Strike for the text that says that they can't block my creatures for the turn. So Thassa kind of does a similar thing at a slightly lower casting cost on top of doing everything else that she does. So it's not just another Soulherder. It's a very versatile card. So I've been enjoying it quite a lot. It's not just like it's not so much like an experimental card at this point for me. Like I've wrapped my head around it. It has performed, and I'm happy with it in the deck. Something pretty dramatic would need to happen for me to sort of shift away from having this card in the deck at this point, I think. Okay. Apart from that, I don't think I have too much to say about anything. I'm still not I'm not extremely impressed with Glasspool Mimic. It hasn't been like game winning that often, but it also really hasn't detracted much at all from our plan, and it's come in for value sometimes, and I've played it as a land a bunch of times at this point, so the flexibility seems good, if not like super overwhelming. So I think I'll just keep running it for the time being. I trimmed 1 basic planes to get the Glasspool Mimic into the 60. And sometimes I've forgotten that I don't have the second planes to go get, but in a deck with so many unique individual cards, a bunch of singletons and such, it can be hard sometimes keeping track of the entire 60, but it just takes reps to get used to it. Sideboard feels fine. Got answers for a lot of stuff. Actually, at the end of the last stream, spoiler alert, I ended up beating like an old school red-green Scapeshift Titan deck with Ashiok doing a lot of work. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So Ashiok, I used to have one, and I was trying an Aven Mind Sensor for a while to make better use of Eladamri's Call, like being able to fetch our search hate. But Ashiok is just so much more versatile, not just shutting down searching, but also clearing opponents' graveyards. So even though Aven Mind Sensor synergizes with kind of what we're doing with Eladamri's Call, Ashiok is just a much stronger sideboard choice, so I'm sticking with 2 of these guys for the time being. Ashiok just seems kind of unfair sometimes. The fact that he can just win a game by milling, say you mill them once and then they send a bunch of attacks at him, and maybe you manage to keep him just barely alive. Next turn you mill again, just Eternal Witness, get Ashiok back, start the whole thing again. All of a sudden, your opponent's in a pretty tough spot. So yeah, the deck has felt good. I've still got the three forces and 3 paths in the main, with the remainders in the sideboard. just not overcommitting to removal or counter spells in any given matchup in game 1. In game 2, we can shift the balance. This was something that Nathan had been doing. Nathan is the pilot who won the Modern Challenge, I guess about a month ago now, with Soulherder. And this list is based loosely upon what he was doing. His result did convince me to try Ether Vial, and since then, pretty sure I'm on Team Ether Vial. Our deck loves to be able to play at instant speed. We've always enjoyed Ice Fang, being able to flash in on the opponent's end step. Ephemerate is a really fun instant speed trick to save our creatures, obviously Force and Path, but with Ether Vial, all of a sudden, all your ETBs become kind of instant speed, right? Eternal Witness, Vial it in to get back a counterspell. It's pretty sweet. Vial in Watcher for tomorrow on the opponent's end step, so entering tapped doesn't really doesn't matter that much. So Watcher has some nice synergy with Ether Vial in that sense. But yeah, it is the same list as last time. If you guys are interested in checking out the list while I'm in a match, it should be showing up on the side of the screen. Maybe you guys can confirm for me that Cardboard Live is in fact actually live. And yeah, with that, I will go ahead and jump into a league. And I just voted today. It was amazing because it's super rainy out, and there were no lines at all for me in Brooklyn. And I had seen in the news that there were like 3-hour lines earlier in the week. So super happy to dodge those lines. I'm sure that this weekend, the weekend before the actual election day, like Saturday and Sunday are probably just going to be crazy swamped. I think the weather's supposed to be pretty nice too. Welcome to the stream, Contra. Happy to see you here. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and jump into a league. Try to get my magic brain warmed up. I always in the first round, I always make some questionable decisions just because I'm like, ugh. Magic, focus, smart decisions. All right, here we go. I've been on an amazing streak of winning the die rolls. Probably shouldn't say that and jinx it, but I feel like I've just been winning die rolls all the time. Yep, we can work with this. Green-white, we got some snakes. Well, a snake. Eladamri's Thassa is pretty slow, but we've got the Ephemerate. This is a very nice hand. We'll go ahead and keep. If it's Neobrand or, Charbelcher, we've got the Force for that busted stuff. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. They've got Lutri, I think is the name of this otter, as their avatar. All right, so opponent kept on their 6. Play a Windswept Teeth and pass the turn. Flooded Strand. Fair enough. Could be Soulherder. Could be playing the Mirror. All right, I am going to fetch now. And I'll get my Temple Garden for now. I find that when I get my Canopy Vista early, I tend to regret it because I always want to get it late. Nice. Let's get a land, please. Oh my god. Yes. I'll just pass the turn here. I think I'll probably try to Ephemerate on their end step, and if they cast a counter spell or some removal spell in response, then I can untap and have just free reign. If I draw land, I can just get Thassa down. That should be amazing for the rest of the game. It's going to be some kind of Jeskai. This Jeskai deck runs that weird Cleansing Wildfire card, which just seems so poor to me. I don't know. I guess it cycles and they get to keep me off my colors, but it's good against Tron, I guess. It's just, it always seems so ineffective. This is nice. I'm going to be able to dodge it, I think, here. Nice. Excellent. Super excellent. So if this hits a land here, we should be pretty good to go. No land yet, but we will get the rebound and a draw step, right? Hey guys, give me a sec. I'm going to check in with chat in just a moment. There's that land. So I can tap out for Thassa now, which seems pretty sick. I could also just hold up double Ephemerate and get Watcher down. That actually might be better, just because Watcher digs so deep, and I can like, if they try to Renin 6 and then cast, some removal spell, a Lightning Helix or something, I've got another Ephemerate to back it up. I think I like that plan a little bit better. We are going to be interacting on their turn, so let's go ahead and get Watcher down now, I think. All right, so what are you guys talking about over here? Hey, Erickson. Cess Ben, good to see you here. Value, opponent playing 4-color control. I think it's just Guy with that Cleansing Wildfire thing. Yeah, let's do this. So, I mean, oh my goodness, good cards. So against a control deck, I've only got the one Teferi. I mean, Uro is pretty busted, but I've got Call anyway if I want to get Uro, so I think Teferi is the pick here. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So, yeah, let's pass the turn. We've also got Force up if they have anything super annoying, like if they cast their own Teferi, I might just want to force that. Well, they do have green. So it's 4 colors. Okay, that resolved. That's pretty nice. Opponent gonna waste this Renin 6 here. I'll take Path. It's the value out of that pile. So now I think I can continue to hold up. Like, no sense in being aggressive with that Ephemerate here, I think. So I'll go for Oracle here. I'm going to attack Renin 6 just because it's kind of obnoxious. Opponent knows I have a Force now. It's sort of annoying. Okay. Stocked hand. Okay, Renin 6 down. Oh, wait, maybe not. I think I Ephemerate and then fight over it with Force. I don't know. Opponent doesn't seem to have the counter spells. If I can get Teferi down here, that would be ridiculous. Soulherder seems pretty good, but I am going to need to get back some of these Ephemerates. I do have forces to protect him. Yeah, I mean, Soulherder is the unique card in this pile. So Renin 6 gets to live for the time being. I think it's worth it to play Teferi, and they can counter it if they want to. But Teferi is a crazy bomb in this matchup. Okay, so it got forced and they pitched Omnath, which is good for us, I think. So no more Teferis in the deck. They just exiled it. And we pass the turn with Force of our own up. They get to kill one of my creatures now, but man, we got crazy value out of Watcher so far. If they do want to bottom out Renin 6, they may not want to. Okay, they do. We get a Soulherder in our hand. And yeah, let's see what they've got. Just passing the turn. All right, I feel good about this. 8 cards to 2. Drawing that 4th Ephemerate would be pretty nice here. You know, I could actually... Oh, a land. That's so nice. So I think we almost certainly want to pay no matter what, because we just get to cast more stuff. Eternal Witness is pretty sick. They have enough islands to get Mystic Sanctuary. I can just play at instant speed on their turn, but I do need to sort of get something down here, I think, or try to. I feel like I'd rather resolve. Well, if I'm going to go for some, I kind of want to hold up call. But what am I actually getting with call? It doesn't really matter. I think I'll just go for witness here. Yeah, I think I agree with chat. If they have the cryptic, it's sort of okay. We've got so many cards. And we're leaving up call on the end step. Again, like in this spot, we've got so many good cards in our hand. I think the opponent's just, oh, wait a second, guys. This is not real. It just got, okay, opponent just scooped. So that was fairly dominant there. No, casting, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess we would have to discard there after I get the ephemerate. That's pretty ridiculous. So Veil of Summer, gonna be awesome. Omnath can get gusted. Uro can get gusted. Maybe Gust is sort of okay. Maybe not. I don't know. We're already really good, I think, in the matchup. Ashioks are awesome. I don't think I have to worry about Stonehorn, but then I do need to leave some removal in. Do I want a fourth path? I don't know. That seems kind of weird. Like, what kind of permanents are they playing other than Uro and Omnath? All right, what am I taking out here? Skyclave is ridiculously good. Maybe trim one call because the games go long. I'm just going to draw my creatures. Glasspool seems fine. Thos is good. Watcher was excellent. Maybe a path for a wins. Not sure, but we still have to trim cards. So they play like Bolt and Lightning Helix, so maybe like Soulherder's a little bit weak. Just lean on our Ephemerates like we did that game. Maybe trim another call. One path out. Just leave in two paths. I think that seems fine. We've got Skyclaves to blow up their creatures. It's possible wind is better. But we've got Deputy for that. I'm going to run it like this, and then if I feel like it's not good enough against the zombies, and we go to a game 3, then I can reconsider Winds of Abandon, maybe even something like Worship, but I think we've got it covered. Skyclave is super good, and if we can get an Ether Vial down early, this matchup should be pretty heavily favored in our direction. So this is excellent. We're going to keep this clearly. Okay, opponent once again keeping their 6. Tapped Mystic Sanctuary, not the best land on turn 1. There's that Skyclave. You love to see it. Only thing that could make this hand better would be a Force of Negation right now. I'm going to play this right now. And we can go get Canopy Vista next turn. Growth Spiral. So do I want to? I think I'm fine. I want them to kind of fight over these Icefang Coatls, I think. They did not play a land off the Growth Spiral. That's sort of ridiculous. Wow. Wow. The ramp deck missing their land drops. Are we getting mono leaked? No? No mono leak? Here's that Canopy Vista. Probably, wow. I think I'll just play both of my fetches with Uro this turn. I feel like it's so rare that this deck gets matches where like we actually get to play like on easy mode like this match seems to be right now. I'm okay, we're getting pathed. Sort of okay, I can't do anything about it. I have another Uro in the deck though. I don't mind getting ramped. Blue, we got plenty of green. I think just getting the basic white is probably fine here. Let's us hold up all of our interaction. Like, oh my god, look at all these lands. So probably want to get green, white here or something. Okay. So 5 lands on turn 3. I can dig it. ADV Neil. Thing is, when I was going to play Uro then, I wasn't able to hold up anything because you can't put your land. They responded to the ETB trigger, so I didn't have any mana to interact with Path to Exile, and I'm not going to be aggressive about my Ephemerate here. I'm just going to chill a little bit. I will tick up the Ether Vial to 3. No problem, Neil. Thanks for the heads up. And again, welcome everybody. It's a rainy day. It's a nice day to play some Magic. Every day is a nice day to play some Magic. I need to stop drawing lands. That's not a land. All right, let's make the opponent use some of their resources. Getting pinged in Discord here. Okay, let's see if we can get this this Teferi off here. I'm guessing no, but if it happens, it's pretty stupid. I mean, whatever. Are we getting something bolted? He's going to bolt Teferi. Maybe he's representing bolt. I'm just going to protect the Teferi. Oh, they can't. That was silly. But yeah, I do want to protect Teferi anyway, like against just dying to a bolt. I've got plenty of cards to work with. And yeah, I'm just comfortable. I don't think I need to use this mana right now. Yep. Erickson on top of all the chat action today. It's good to have you here with me, helping me pick up things that I miss on. So I don't know. Opponent can play like a Planeswalker, and then I can Ephemerate, and I can play Skyclave, and they can scoop because this is just embarrassing. This is when like your opponent is like, why doesn't everybody play Soulherder? This deck is freaking busted. Are we going to get this concession here? This game was over when the opponent missed their land drop. And I don't know, kind of when I got the busted ass opening 7. And then when I resolved Teferi. So I'm going to keep thinning the deck. They're not pressuring my life total at all. I think they're, well, anyhow, let's get our lands. I just keep increasing my blue. My white. I am going to kill Wrenn and 6 here with Skyclave. I don't really need more green. I've got all the green in the world, so I mean, the land choice there didn't really matter too much. Peace out, Ren in 6. And we even get a rebound. Okay, opponent thinking about this. There we go. Oh my goodness. Guys, I can't take all this value. So Thassa's going to be really close to being alive. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I could turn her alive right now by playing Oracle and Watcher, but I think I'll probably just play Watcher, just not like super overextend, and then I can sort of if Teferi lives, I can just surprise the opponent and attack with Thassa next turn. Well, hang on a second. No, she's going to be alive right now if I play anything apart from Thassa. So let's go ahead and just get Thassa down first. I kind of like not committing anything else to the board here. Hey, Snoffle guy. This is game 2. It's a pretty fast one. I'm going to keep ticking Teferi up because he's just pretty good right here. And I don't know. I'm going to play Watcher and just start drawing cards with Thassa. Like if I can get a force in this pile here. I mean, they can path Thassa now, which is kind of obnoxious, but there's my force. And we get to blink the Watcher now. Jesus, this looks pretty unfair. I think we're going to be fine anyway, because we're going to put creatures underneath him now, and we can rebuild anyway with Eternal Witness. All right, cool. Let's do this. Hey, Cactus. Welcome. Lightning bolting my Coatl. Seems okay. They're super desperate here. Like they're trying to get Thassa as far away from being active as possible. So I think I can just pretty comfortably force this here. I mean, I will need to draw a blue card if I want to actually attack with Thassa on this turn, but I can also just bounce one of my creatures with Teferi. Also got access to the Force of Negation again if I blink Watcher and get Eternal Witness. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's exactly lethal. Unfortunately, if I bounce one of my creatures, I can't attack with it then. I think I'm just going to play it cool here. Attack with the creatures I have. I mean, I guess I could... No, I mean, that doesn't get Thassa online right now anyway. So attack. Yeah, Bouncing Watcher seems just fine. I do like that. And if the opponent wants to bolt Teferi, they still seem super far behind. And we'll play the Watcher out, keep digging through our beautiful, beautiful deck. Kind God, all these choices. What are we even afraid of? Like, I guess Ephemerate is a good card, particularly with Teferi on the board. Am I afraid of their permanence, or am I? I mean, it's just like I'm spoiled for choices here. So I think I'll take Ephemerate. I'll play my Windswept Heath. I do have another forest in the deck that I can go get. And I will. I'm probably just gonna Violin Eternal Witness. So Blinking Watcher. Opponent's like, sticking with it. Got to give him credit. Ashiok is pretty busted. Eternal Witness is also pretty busted. I think I'll take Ashiok. It just like wrecks him pretty hard. We've already got an Eternal Witness in hand. Got an Ephemerate in hand. It's like when Jace like gets going on brainstorming. It's like opponents don't realize like how good your hand is. Yeah, this is a pretty cozy start to the league. Pretty comfortable. I'm trying to bolt. Well, they are bolting Teferi. So game on. I can just witness it back. Seems good. Witness also presents lethal. That's a bigger part of why I'm vialing it in right now. Opponent's conceding, so domination. So, I mean, the opponent mulliganed to 6 in both games. I don't think my hand was insanely busted in game 1. Like I think we had a snake and a couple of lands and a Thassa. But this game, the opening hand was really good. It was 2 lands, Ether Vial, and a bunch of good stuff. So, awesome. Okay, that guy's not on any trophies. Let's go ahead and jump into the next round. How's everybody in chat doing? Are you guys, for those of you who are in America, have you guys voted yet? I just voted today. It was really quiet at my polling place because it's raining pretty heavily today. All right, well, we'll have to take the first mulligan of the day here. Opponent's keeping their 7. Ah, that's so unfortunate. If I had even 1 land, Ether Vial would really tie this hand together. All right, we'll go down to 5. It happens sometimes. So we've got blue, white, green. We will keep this. We're off of the mana to cast. Well, we're going to put 2 of our 3 drops to the bottom, basically. And this is an okay starting hand. If we're playing against like a Death Shadow deck, should be gas, but doesn't look like it. Reading Pool, getting an untapped land. Is this going to be like Saheeli or something? Oh god, it's Hedron Crab. Well, at least I can path that thing on their upkeep. All right, well, Hallowed Fountain is interesting. That was the land I was going to get with Windswept Heath. I do need double green for Witness, so maybe I'll go get now. This could be Mill, or it could be like some kind of Vengevine deck. So I think I'm going to, well, whatever. Either way, I'm going to get Temple Garden. So if it's like Vengevine, then they would have used the crab for themselves, and if it's Mill, then they're going to use it on me. But either way, turn 1 Hedron Crab. Yeah, you do want to get rid of that thing as quickly as possible. So black means it's well, I guess it could still be graveyard stuff. I mean, I guess we'll see here. Maybe they're going to like glimpse the unthinkable me or something. Yeah, I hope it's Mill, because like we've got our Gaia's Blessing in the graveyard, in the sideboard. Okay, all right. Does Mill play Uro now? That's kind of wild. I didn't know that. So I'd rather they don't like drown the Coatl. So okay, well we've got our own Uro. That's nice. The only way we can possibly win game 1 against Mill is with like a clock, and drawing Uro there is pretty sick. I got to be careful not to play the planes though, because that prevents me from escaping. Maybe I just play Eternal Witness here. Like they could, well, if they're going to, I'd love to get Force back, but they're pretty clearly holding up like a drown. I think getting a Force would be awesome here. Okay. All right, so I guess it's Uro time next turn. If I knew that they were going to drown, there's a case to be made for playing Uro, letting it go to the graveyard, and then escaping it next turn. So they're playing this for 1 here. I guess they're missing their land drops, which is uncomfortable. 2 Uros. They're trying to tell me something here. So I kind of do have to play this planes at this point, but whatever. Can draw into like an Ephemerate or another path or something. Another drown maybe. Looks like they're drowning me again. It's sort of okay. Prevent me from drawing that important 4th land. I think I've only beaten Mill in game 1 with Soulherder like once. This is still just for 1 card. So we're getting those visions out of their deck for less value. Okay, they're passing again, playing kind of a defensive game. Eternal Witness again. Now we could, well, Force does seem good here still, but getting a land to get Uro seems maybe slightly better, I guess. So I can play Eternal Witness, get a land back, and then, well, if they don't have, and then I can play Watcher as well. Okay, let's get that land. The Flooded Strand for a basic island seems just fine. Are they going to Surgical my Flooded Strand? I've got 2 of those in the deck. Seems bad. When they should probably use Surgical to hit, like, I guess, Uro. Oh, they're Murderous Cutting. Interesting timing when I could just Ephemerate. Of course, killing the Eternal Witness slows my clock down, but I'm going to reestablish that clock right now. And next turn, we are escaping Uro. Archive trapping me. Okay, all right. Well, that hits me pretty hard. Maybe they have multiple archive traps they've been waiting to snap off. It's nothing that really matters here. I mean, just like Mimic, I guess. Cast to copy something. No, I don't really want Ephemerate loops right now. I think I just want to attack. Okay, it's going to hit me for a bunch. Pretty obnoxious. But we're swinging for 3, getting down to 8, and if they don't have removal, and well, let's see how this goes. 16 cards left in the deck. If they have more removal for Uro, then I've lost game 1. And as I said earlier, it's sort of impossible to win game 1. Glad to hear that you beat Mill Cactus. I mean, Mill is a pretty legit deck these days, but I do have the Guy's Blessing in the sideboard, and as long as I don't play it stupidly like I did last time, I think games 2 and 3 should be pretty manageable. Opponent going to 8. I mean, if they have another Drown here, things are pretty desperate, because we're just going to get milled out by Mesmeric Orb. So here goes nothing. We're slightly ahead on time, so that's nice. This is one that could go long, in theory. It could have that sorcery removal spell, or maybe like a Fatal Push. Come on. You have... I don't think I want to use this ability. Maybe I do, because then I can play the other Uro, although I'm just getting milled for more. I have to say no here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Getting milled for 7 this turn. Opponent on 2 cards. If they have a mill spell, it's just lights out. I'm sorry, why should I have shocked? I don't want to draw more cards at this point. My only hope is to not draw cards. To not mill that extra card? Oh, I see. Good call. Good call. I wasn't thinking about that axis with Mesmeric Orb. Definitely. Very smart. All right. So they have a blocker now. And... yeah, no, of course. You guys are on top of it. So I have to hope they don't have a mill spell. They don't have a removal spell. And I need the last card in my deck to be a Path to Exile. Do we have any paths left in the deck? Here's 1, 2. Yeah, there is a path left. Oh no, wait, I had some exile stuff. Okay. 1, 2. Huh. All right. Well, I mean, Uro is the play, but I probably can't even attack. Wait, no. What am I doing? Oh my god! What am I doing? I meant to escape. All right, guys. This one's over. Well, let me draw my card. That was pretty stupid. Ugh, all right, my bad. I'm just gonna scoop this one up. We've got the sideboard hate. No, I can play something. I was going to escape Uro, right? That's 4 lands tapped. I'm at 5, so I don't attack this turn. They mill the 4 cards for the 4 lands that I untapped, that I tapped. I lose 4. I go down to 1 card. I draw my last card in the deck. Hope that it's a Path to Exile, Path the Ruined Crab, and and win the game. But yeah, I don't know. Let's draw a card. There's that path. Anyhow, I meant to escape Uro, but I clicked the Uro in my hand. That has actually happened before. So we're bringing in a whole bunch of extra cards now. including our favorite Gaia's Blessing, Contra. Big shout out. It's his favorite card. Celestial Purge. They might play Ashiok themselves as a mill card, Liliana, things like that. Path for the crabs, Winds of Abandon for the crabs. Veil of Summer is actually excellent. Ceremonious Rejection stops there. Annoying. Mesmeric Orb. I think these three can probably chill in the sideboard, so... And then, I mean, like, I don't know if I want to, like, I think 70 cards is fine, so... And Stonehorn is a body that can attack, so whatever, even though it's terrible. This seems okay. I guess along those lines, Auriok Champion is kind of the same. Like, just something that, but, I mean, Ether Gust literally, like, doesn't do anything, right? I guess I can loop this. I can keep them from decking me with Ether Gust, but I'm not, like, familiar enough with that sort of loop to do it, I think. I'm just clicking submit like this, and we'll see how it goes. So I just need to not draw Gaia's Blessing, and we should win. So 1 card out of 72, and we should have an excellent chance at winning this game. But it's super interesting to note that Ether Gust can keep putting our permanents on top of our deck on our upkeep to prevent us from getting milled out. Yeah. I don't have Gaia's Blessing, so A-okay. I might not play Magic for a little while. Hey, that's pretty nice. Don't draw Gaia's Blessing. Okay, I should have done this on the opponent's turn. It's just like, whatever. Oh, Gaia's Blessing, nice. Well timed. Just counters that archive trap. That's pretty slick. Very nice. So they didn't have the surgical there, which is pretty cool. Hedron Crab, you got it. Ether Vial, best card, best draw. Let's path the stupid crab on their upkeep. Although, hold on a second. I have repeatedly said before that we don't care about their mill stuff, and in fact, we want them to mill as much as possible. So yeah, I'm just gonna let them have the crab, I think. I think I want them to mill me. I want more mill instances. I've also got the Eternal Witness, right? So like, do you guys agree with this? Should I path this, or should I just let it sit? The way that I lost, I'm pretty sure the way, if you have Gaia's Blessing, you want them to have way more mills than you have draws. So it just drastically increases the chances of them hitting Gaia's Blessing. No, there's Uro in this deck, apparently, according to somebody. I mean, I do have forces, so whatever. I'll just path this thing, and we'll see how it goes. We'll learn our lesson again. And they can't drown. It's funny. Maybe they'll try. They have 0 cards in my graveyard. Oh, are they going to? They can't assassin. Oh, they're abrupt decaying this, and it can't counter it. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm in no rush. So again, I'm really not concerned with their mill. It does block, it's true, but I can play Knight of Autumn as like a beater once I draw land, which could be in a while, to be honest. I kept a 1-lander and then top decked lands immediately. So I can't complain if I don't draw lands for a little while. The deck loves me. Oh my god. So yeah, this is what the path is for, guys. But I've got Eternal Witness. I need another green land, but I think, so lesson learned, if it is an Uro deck, and I wouldn't have seen this coming unless somebody in chat told me, you let them have their mill stuff when you bring in the Gaia's Blessing. Like, not only do we kind of like, so, okay, I'm gonna test the theory here, and I'm gonna let all their mill stuff resolve. This resolves. Okay. So now they're going to escape Uro next turn, and I would like to path it. So, I think, well, no, I can play, can't play Eternal Witness. I was going to say I could go get back. Eventually I can play Eternal Witness. Again, I don't care about their orb. This is how I lost last time, was by blowing up their orb. So I think I'll get in my attacks and just pass the turn with Path to Exile up. Nope, you guys are not getting it. You're not understanding the dynamic here. We want them to mill us. We literally want them to mill us. See, they're milling themselves now. What is? Oh wait, no, this is from Mesmeric Orb, of course. It's just what the card does. But yes, we just want them to mill us. Extirpating, Path to Exile, and it's split second, eh? So I'm losing my Path to Exile, but we still have Skyclave Apparitions in the deck, and this means they're not going to be extirpating our Gaia's Blessing. All right, so that resolves. Erickson, you have to calm down, man. This is not a yikes. This is totally fine. But we also, I think I also brought in more removal, right? Like I brought in Winds of Abandon, so that's in the deck as well. Unfortunately, just not getting to use my mana that turn. Obviously, I would have preferred to play out the Knight. So, I don't know, like an Ephemerate would be awesome. Glasspool as a blue land is sort of okay. But I do need green land at some point. I mean, so they're going to start attacking with Uro and drawing cards. So we just kind of need to slow him down a little bit. I'm going to play this. I could also just cast it and copy the Coiling Oracle. Oh, I could copy Uro, but it doesn't do too much for me. It just gains me life. I think I like... I can't copy Uro. I can only copy my own stuff. I think I like copying the Coiling Oracle here. I mean, yeah, let's see. We're looking for green lands. Okay. So, you know, things are sort of going okay. We can draw, like, Skyclave Apparition. We can draw Winds of Abandon. But Uro is a bit of a beating. It's definitely true. And getting rid of the paths was a little bit rough. Normally these decks run Surgical, and I could have countered the Surgical Extraction. But Extirpate has split second, so, you know, they got me. Okay. There's the delay in chat. Like, I always say something and then correct myself, and then when I look over, chat is like, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And I appreciate it, because sometimes I don't actually remember. Snakes also have Death Touch, so I probably want to get some basics. That's another way that we can comfortably deal with Uro. Okay. Again, we do like them milling us. We want the ratio of mill to draws to be just like super heavy in favor of mills. So I'm not blocking anything yet. Keeping my creatures on the battlefield. Okay, so opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Looks like they may want to play something. They might also just be crabbing. I wonder if they have Surgicals and Extirpates, or if they're just favoring Extirpate. I have to play a little quicker. I'm somewhat behind on time now. All right, well, there's that call. I can call for, well, Snake doesn't do it yet, but I think I just pass here to get call for Skyclave. They're on 2 cards, so I can't quite double call. It's annoying. And if I call on their turn and they have Archive Trap, you know, we want to let Archive Trap resolve, actually. Just sort of thinking through this out loud. We're getting pushed. Okay, that's fine. I might start blocking here. Like 10 life is... I mean, I do have life gain in Night of Autumn here, so... If they have, like, exactly... like a removal spell? Oh, no, I mean a counter spell for Skyclave. That would be pretty rough. Not blocking yet. Opponent with 3 cards in hand now. Seems like that's probably worth countering. Thassa is sort of unique, so I will not exile her. See, this seems slightly desperate from the opponent, like they're like trying to draw an answer to Skyclave. All right, here goes nothing. Okay, all right. A little bit of breathing room. We still haven't hit the Gaia's Blessing. I'm catching up on time a little bit. Are they going to kill my What's happening? 4 mana here? 5 mana? Are they making a shark? Oh, they're archive trapping me. That's awesome. I can dig it. Wow, we still haven't hit it. Jesus. That's freaking me out. We're down to 20 cards. I'm going to tap my land to get extra mill, I think. Yeah, that's so funny. Like, everything I say, like, you guys. I should have probably also attacked with the Coiling Oracle. Ugh. Why did I pitch? Well, I wouldn't have been able to cast another force anyway. Jesus. All right, well, mill is fine, but they're getting rid of my graveyard. So that's rough. All right, we still didn't hit it, though. Do I have any more I think I should have one more Celestial Purge in the deck. I still have the Skyclave, and I can ephemerate it to deal with Ashiok. But I'm only going to be shuffling back 17 cards into the deck at this point. But it's nice that they did not hit my Gaia's Blessing. Actually, Gaia's Blessing there would have been pretty slick, right? Because it would have triggered and then shuffled it back before the Ashiok trigger resolved. I should have tapped the island, as I was saying. Ugh. Yuck. Oh my god. Celestial Purge is kind of good. So we do need to get rid of this guy. He's kind of obnoxious. Oh, it resolved completely, yeah. So, like, anyhow. Attack with both of these guys. All right, we got 13 cards there. I am going to tap my lands, I guess, this time. Yeah, you're right, because Ashiok's ability resolves all at once. Well, this is nice. They're going to get a bunch of mills here. If they have the Surgical or the Extirpate again in hand, with the 1 card in hand, oh my god, they didn't hit it. Are they just milling me out here? Nice. Okay, that's definitely going to hit. All right, let's shuffle back. Opponent with 0 cards in hand, and we just started all over again with the opponent on 0 cards. This is the plan, ladies and gentlemen. They can start milling me again with this land. Do they have another Uro in the graveyard? They do have another Uro in the graveyard. But I have a Skyclave here, so it's sort of okay. Yeah, opponent has 13 cards. Thank you for pointing that out. So they're drawing up to 1 card here now. Okay, Hedron Crab putting land into play. Uro putting land into play. Oh man, 14 cards. Hang on. Do I want to mill myself? I think I do want to mill myself here. Or maybe not. I don't even know. What do you guys say? Should I mill myself here? All right, let's do it. The strategies. Yes. I still mill a bunch. Oh, I hit it again. It shuffles itself. And an Uro. 2 Uros. I can't escape them, though. I guess I ephemerate the Coiling Oracle. Oh, Glasspool. That's interesting. I do kind of have to copy something. So copy Skyclave. And I don't know. I guess we'll blow up the crab. It's a blocker. That's so funny. It hit. So wait, what just happened? I'm so confused. I ephemerated the Coiling Oracle, and it turned into a mimic when it entered the battlefield. So confusing. What just happened, guys? I cast an ephemerate on a snake, and then it came back. It got blinked and didn't come back. Like, where's my oracle? Oh, like, oh, that's hilarious. So Ashiok seems like a good one, but Ephemerate is probably a better start. And I'll Ephemerate now, and then I'll just like Ghost Block Ephemerate. No, I can get Ashiok on the second Ephemerate. Okay, they're on 0 cards. I can get back Ashiok and mill them out, and we should just win the game. I have to say that these games against mill post board are like super interesting. Super duper interesting. Opponent reconsidering their strategy of extirpating the Path to Exile. Are they thinking about whether they want to do an Uro or not? Gaia's Blessing. Gotta love it. And, yeah, I don't know, whatever. Guess we'll... I should probably just save time here. So maybe I'll just do one of these Ephemerates and let the other one get exiled. Actually, maybe not. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Nice. Milling the mill player. Get her done. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. So in my defense, about that blink on the Glasspool mimic, Magic Online doesn't make it super obvious that it's actually a copy, right? Like they put that little tiny little icon there. In paper, it would just be like a glaring Glasspool mimic with a piece of paper on it or something. I know, but the name is also like this big. It's super tiny. Like if I noticed the name being blue, I probably would have noticed the little copy icon. I think we're sort of fine with our setup. Yeah, no, I guess pretty dry, particularly in the winter months or the colder months. I think I am slightly ahead on time. I haven't looked at it in a moment, but I did think a little bit, and we had multiple ephemerates in the last couple turns, so let's see. No, I'm behind by almost a minute. This is sick. Although, again, I don't really care about any of their mill stuff. So, countering there, that was a great draw there. Okay, you got it, opponent. No worship for Uro attacks. I don't know. I mean, worship is kind of a thing. I guess I could bring it in, but I don't. Maybe since we're just piling on cards, it is the correct thing to do. Honestly, I'm not really sure what I force. I don't really care, Do you guys understand now? I guess getting creatures down is significant, and we do want them to mill us anyway. So like Archive Trap away, basically. So you guys, yeah, I'm just asking, like, do you guys see what the one thing that I was, I will pay 2 life, yes. I think we do want to get, like, path their creatures, but we don't, like, their crabs just to clear up attacks. So I would ceremonious like this if it's, oh, it's Uro. Okay, fair enough. So Uro's going to resolve. Yeah, same strategy, I think. Do they have a land to play? Let's see. I'm not faking Vile, man. I'm trying to win on time. What is this all fake Vile stuff? So the point of using, I guess, counter spells in the early part of the game, I don't know. Anyhow, just stay focused, try to save time. Basic is nice. Maybe I want to get basics to have Death Touch with snakes. So I'm going to be a little less chatty because I'm behind on time, and I want to make sure that I can catch up. I think I'm fine just leaving Eternal Witness in hand for the time being. There's nothing really that I want back, and we're taking Vile up to 3 anyway. We can leave up all sorts of mana this way. Basic Island lets us force plus Ceremonious. I think I would just force an Ashiok if they cast it, even though I could purge it, just because I don't want them to even get a single activation. Or do I? I don't know. Whatever. Opponent's got some weird stuff. I guess they just kept it on the back of Uro. So I do want to get basics because I do want to have access to Death Touch. Okay, all right. We're getting places now. We're getting our Ether Vial blown up. I can't counter it, which is kind of annoying. This happened last game, but it's not a big deal. Could actually just Witness now and get back the Vial. Seems sort of okay. I do like having Vial. sort of effectively countering their resets the Ether Vial, but sort of counters their Abrupt Decay. They're trying to get spells in the graveyard for Uro. If we path an Uro and they fight over it with like a Drown, that would be something worth forcing. Okay. I hit my own Uro. It's kind of nice. Getting rid of Skyclave would be a little rough. Getting rid of Ashiok would be a little rough. What's happening here? Do we have another Uro to cast, it looks like? Oh, they're trying to escape now, but don't realize that they can't. That's a little bit sad. Yep. Wasting time. That's how that card works. It costs 5 cards. They're going to try tapping differently. Tap. You got to tap it. Got to tap it like this. Oh, they're just casting like an Uro from hand now. Oh, Ashiok. As I said, I think this is definitely worth countering. So now we can escape our own Uro and present quite a clock. Good one. Okay, let's go. Opponent's going to cast a spell next turn. They're going to escape Uro. We're going to path it, and we're going to win. I'm ahead by 36 seconds. Or 30 seconds. Okay, opponent can do the escape thing now. Seems like they're like on their last legs. They cracked that fetch right away, like they really needed that for the card. We go for our path here, and if need be, we can Ephemerate Eternal Witness next turn. If they somehow stop my path now. Go, Path to Exile. All right. Very nice. Got nothing up to protect our creatures. Yeah, you guys are on top of it. We are now just about a minute ahead on the clock. 46 cards left in the deck. Opponent plays a land from their hand using Uro's ability. We untap with Uro. Quite nice. Yeah, we can do a lot of things with Ephemerate now. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe I just get Ashiok for like the troll face. Like just Ephemerate now and play Ashiok. Nah. I could also just Ephemerate to get like Watcher for tomorrow, Vial it in for lethal. Yeah, this is okay. Okay, right? Milling is just dandy right now. Tapping some stuff. Tap. Archive trap. Yeah, bring it. I only force things that matter. Yeah, like that, for example. Like that, for example. Yeah, get wrecked, mill opponent. And now, I can just breathe easy because we're like a minute and a half ahead. I'm going to crack my fetch. I don't even know what lands I have in the deck. I have a land to get. Pretty nice. And we don't have lethal here, so I will just ephemerate the Eternal Witness, get back a Force of Negation, and make the opponent feel bad about their life choices. Actually, no, I get back Ephemerate, and then I get back Force, obviously. Maybe I just get back more Ephemerates, right? But I don't know if there are any in there. Okay, Ephemerate is a good card. Could get Veil, true. It's still chilling in the graveyard. We do have another Ephemerate here. Okay, trying to mill me out. Just doing their best. They get to return Oboro. It'd be nice if we got to hit Gaia's Blessing one more time. Okay, 19 cards left in the deck. Opponent slow rolling the Oboro activation. Oh no, they played a land already. I think they played a fetch this turn, right? So they can't play it this turn. So now I just ephemerate and get path. Like, I'm not messing around. We win anyway around the Ruined Crab, so it doesn't matter. All right, so yeah, because they already played a land. So I don't know, most of you guys were probably there with me like maybe 2 or 3 streams ago where I played against Mill. It was game 3. We had like 4 cards left in the deck, and we were about to untap with Gaia's Blessing, like still in the library. And I thought I wanted to play cards that increase my clock, so I was like, whatever, I'll play Skyclave and blow up their Mesmeric Orb. But then I blew up their Mesmeric Orb, and I didn't mill like during my upkeep, and so then I ended up drawing the Gaia's Blessing. So I said at the end of that game that a lesson that I learned before that match, I really, really got punished for not applying it in that match, was that when you have Gaia's Blessing in the deck, you want them to mill you, like, as much as possible. Because imagine they're milling you like one card per turn, and you're drawing 1 card per turn, then it's like 50-50 that you draw the Gaia's Blessing versus getting milled. Obviously, getting milled one card a turn is not going to win them the game, but just like to sort of set up the structure of the relationship. If they mill you 2 cards a turn to your 1 card draw per turn, then it's a 2-to-1 ratio, et cetera, right? So if they're going to mill you like 7 cards a turn, that's awesome, right? Because now, on top of Gaia's Blessing being 1 out of 72 cards, they're making it like 7-to-1 that it's going to hit the graveyard instead of us drawing it. So the only reason that we would deal with any of their mill is like a Ruined Crab that's sort of preventing us from dealing damage, just like a stupid blocker. But we're doing it to remove the blocker, not to remove the milling, because again, like, milling is the cat's pajamas when we have got his Blessing in the deck. So yeah, like, so it was such a stupid loss. Somebody had mentioned earlier in the stream, like, blow up the orb, and I was like, no, I want to leave the orb because I want them to mill me. And then again, I had this like momentary little lapse where I was like, I want to play creatures. I have a Skyclave. Let's play the Skyclave. I can kill their orb. No big deal. But then it stopped their milling, and I drew the Gaia's Blessing. So pretty nasty. But now I and all of you guys know how to roll when you have Gaia's Blessing in the deck. Let them mill you. It's just like, it's how they beat themselves. So anyhow, just give me 1 sec, and I'll be right back. We're doing pretty well so far. All right. So how are you guys all doing? And you guys watching any other streams while you're watching mine? Or is anybody else cool streaming right now? I was just in the bathroom and I saw a couple of my little bonsai seedlings and was wondering if maybe you guys want to see some of my bonsai trees. I'm very new to the practice, but I mean new is like the beginning of this year, like around December. I started watching a lot of videos and learning a lot about horticulture and just the practice of bonsai and different species and when you do certain actions like trimming, repotting, there's a lot of different things, but if you guys just want to see magic, like we can just jump into the next round. So Cactus, I'm not sure what you mean by just you. Odysseus says sure. Erickson says go bonsai. Don't those things live forever if you take care of them? So the thing is, different species are pickier than others. Like some will grow like weeds, and you sort of can't stop them, or you can't kill them, or it's really hard to kill them. And then others are much more finicky. And then, of course, it has a lot to do with climate. Like if you try to grow like a tree that grows like high in the Rocky Mountains and experiences like 4 feet of snow every year, if you try to grow that like inside an apartment, the plant will probably seem okay for like the first couple of years. But then those trees are used to taking a dormancy every year. Like it gets when it gets to freezing temperatures, it triggers like the tree to slow down its metabolic activity, and then it's really an amazing mechanism. It's sort of like bears, I guess, like hibernating, but the trees literally, well, very nearly literally stop all of their like bodily actions. Like they don't do anything. It's like nothing's moving. It just sort of sits still for a while, and then when temperatures warm up, then things start happening again. So if you keep a cold weather plant inside an apartment and don't give it access to any of those cold temperatures, then it doesn't experience that dormancy, so it's not getting to rest like it's used to doing, and so it'll just get exhausted eventually. And so it might seem very healthy at first, but then it will just die. So there's a lot that goes into making sure that the plants are happy. Also, like the soil that you use, the amount that you water, the amount that you fertilize. So let's see. Oh, Erickson, you're leaving now? I was going to show my little trees. So let me grab one of them. We'll do a one by one, I guess. So this little guy might be the most special to me. Nothing. So before I really get into that, there's sort of two very broad phases that any bonsai can be in its life, and it can go back and forth between the two. Sort of like a um, developmental phase or like a refinement phase. So if the tree is young, basically you want to develop it. You want it to push a lot of branches, tons and tons of leaves, and then you can come back and prune back to what you want to keep in order to make whatever shape you're trying to go for. And then eventually, after it pushes all these branches, well, while it's doing that, you want to fertilize heavily. You want to make sure that it's got all the resources that it wants to grow. And then once it has enough, you sort of put the brakes on the fertilizer a little bit. You let it sort of just exist. And then it's going to start growing slowly for a few years. But eventually, plants will just sort of push a lot of new growth again, and it sort of pushes it back into a developmental phase. So since I'm pretty new to the hobby, all my plants are super developmental. So my wife got me a little ficus plant from the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. They actually have one of the best bonsai wings in any garden, any botanical garden in the country. And the thing is, I actually haven't been there since I started actually practicing bonsai because of the whole quarantine situation. But just before my birthday earlier this year, my wife bought me a little ficus, and it's just like a little stick with like a little pom-pom, like a little bush, and it comes in like a cheap plastic pot, and probably costs like I don't even know, like $13 or something. And so the first thing I did with that, it was the first plant that I worked on. One of the big things in bonsai is if you have a certain vision for how the tree wants to look, whether it's being affected by heavy winds and sort of blowing to the side, or whether it's a very old tree and like all the branches are sort of sagging, you can affect all of those by using aluminum or copper wire, and you wrap it with a certain technique around the branches. You move the branches into position, and then of course there's monitoring of the wire. You want to make sure that over like 6 months or a year, it's not like the plant isn't growing and then sort of squeezing like into the wire, and then you get these sort of unsightly wire marks on the actual branches. But you leave them for a few months, and then the branches sort of set in those positions. It's like neither as hard nor as easy as it sounds. It's not as hard as it might sound because it is just putting wire on branches. You have to be a little careful not to like randomly break stuff. And it's really, really fun because you get to like actually like make the tree look how you want. But it's kind of hard because of the details and the management, making sure that it doesn't actually like damage the branches. So anyhow, the first thing I did with this ficus when my wife bought it for me, was I did the wiring, and I kind of wanted it to look like a tree that's on top of a seaside cliff, and it's kind of blowing in the wind like all to one side. So I did that, and then my wife is a ceramicist, so she had made like a little pot for it, and I repotted it, and then I was just sort of happy with it for a while, watering it and just like watching it grow. Because again, totally developmental. I just needed to get a little fatter, a little taller, more leaves, more branches. But I was unhappy with how long the trunk was. It was like it was this baby tree, so it had this long, skinny trunk, and then these branches up here. And so there's a technique you can do called air layering, where you actually you completely remove a strip of bark around the trunk. And what that does is, the tree has sort of transportation of water through the center of the tree from the roots up through the trunk, the interior of the trunk, to sort of give the leaves water, basically. And the leaves are photosynthesizing, making sugars and other starches that they send back down to feed the whole tree, and also the roots. So it's like this sort of back and forth exchange. The water goes up the middle, and the starches come back down through a layer just underneath the bark, called the phloem, I believe. And so when you remove this outer layer, what it does is it stops the sugars from getting down to the roots. And when that happens, it triggers the tree to grow new roots where all of those starches are collecting. And so the old roots gradually grow weaker and weaker, and then from this new ring that you cut around the tree, the trunk, it will now sprout new roots. And so you don't need to do that like on a trunk. If there's a beautiful tree that you like outside in the park or something, you can take a pocket knife and cut like maybe this much wide strip of bark, and you wrap it in like a moss, like sort of halfway moist moss, and then you wrap it in plastic, tape it up, put some drain holes, also to let some air into it. And then, somewhere between like 3 months and 6 months later, you come back and usually the moss is like packed with new roots. And then you can just chop off the whole thing, and then you take the bag off and you can plant that. There's multiple reasons why you would do this thing called air layering. One is, again, if you have a beautiful tree and you want to propagate that tree, you can just do it. You can grow babies from branches, basically. The reason I did it was because the trunk was like super long and skinny and looked totally out of scale for what I was going for with this tree. So by air layering, I effectively removed like 3 inches of the trunk. So I removed these 3 inches. I put this ball. Well, first of all, I put the ball of moss. Waited 3 months. It grew beautiful new roots. It was actually very, very difficult extricating the roots from all of the moss. It was a very delicate operation. And then I removed the old trunk and the old roots, and then I got this. Well, so here's the tree as it stands now. I'm not sure how the lighting is for it. Might be pretty rough. But remember, it used to stand up like a little bush. The trunk was much. I don't know if you guys can see it well. The trunk was much longer. This is a special pot. I don't know if you guys can see all these holes around the edge. These pots are called air pots or air pruning pots. Basically, soil science dictates that roots don't just need water, they need a lot of oxygen. And the more oxygen you can get to the roots, the better. And so if you're growing something like a tomato plant, it'll grow much faster and much more vigorously if it has a lot of air. Now, obviously, if you're just planting in your backyard, there's no way to introduce more oxygen underneath your backyard soil, right? But if you have it in a pot, you can have all of these holes around the edges, and it introduces a lot more air into the soil. I don't know if you guys can see this type of soil. It's these little granules. It's a type of, I don't know if it's actually a clay, but it's definitely similar to a clay. It's extremely hard when it's dry. It's called akadama, and I think in Japanese that literally means like red clay. And it's great because it's this solid particle that, again, allows for oxygen to exist in between the little particles. So when you water it, it's always pulling air down through those spaces in between the particles, rather than like an extremely organic soil, like you'd find in like your backyard or in a park, where it's just very dense and there's not a lot of oxygen getting down there. So yeah, Odysseus. I mean, I'm fairly well educated at this point as far as this stuff goes. So what happened with the air layer? It was very interesting. You guys can see that these branches here are dead, basically. For whatever reason, it's not. I don't think it's an exact science, but certain roots feed certain parts of the trees. And when I was again extricating these new roots from the moss, I had to. Some of the roots got cut, and so this branch must have been very unhappy about what I did down in the roots, and so it has died. And so ficuses are part of a group of plants called broadleaf evergreen. So they're kind of a rainforest tree, and unlike deciduous trees like in the Northeast and other colder areas of the country, it never really gets cold where ficuses are from. So they keep their leaves all year round, and they might like lose any given leaf like once every 2 or 3 years just because it gets tired and it gets replaced with new leaves. But it's not like when it gets cold outside, like it loses its leaves like a maple tree or something. So this branch being dead now, and it's never going to be alive again. But part of the idea with bonsai is that you're trying to affect this representation of age, right, in the plant. And so having some dead branches is actually rather beautiful, I think. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this. There are some techniques for preserving dead branches, like you can put like literally like liquid super glue very, very carefully and let it absorb into the bark, and then it kind of just hardens it, so that it is, first of all, stronger, and second of all, just less likely to just sort of chip and fall off as the years pass. Since this is a tree that grows very fast and it doesn't have very dense wood like a pine tree or something, I'm afraid that it might decay rather quickly. But I have held off so far on putting any kind of super glue on it. So you can, I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but up here we have the living branches, and down here is just the dead branches. And so this is not the final pot that it's going to be in, because it's just for trying to stimulate these new baby roots to sort of fill up this pot over the next maybe six to 9 months. And then maybe next summer, again, because it's a warm weather plant, it doesn't really mind being repotted in the summer. Most plants want to be repotted in the spring because, you know, they've absorbed, they have a lot of energy stored up from over the winter. They're ready in the spring to sort of grow. And so with all that energy, if you're going to do a big thing like moving it to a new pot, doing it in the spring is a good idea. But ficus is being warm weather, like it in the summer. So that's the plan. My wife, I've already designed a pot. She's gonna make the pot for me, and then probably like in June or July, I'll probably replant it. Here's the other side. You can see the dead wood a little bit better from this angle, I think. So anyhow, yeah, that's the plant. It's a little ficus tree. There are techniques that you can use, basically pruning the leaves at certain times during the year, and when they grow back, gradually the size of the leaves will get smaller so that they become more proportionate or more proportional to the tree itself. Right now, I think you guys can see the leaves are rather large. If this was actually a tree on a cliff, you know, like these leaves would be, you know, they'd be tiny. But these leaves, if this were a big tree, this would be like a 4-foot long leaf or something. So that's all part of the process. So this has been a fun experiment, this little tree. And maybe I'll just leave it at that for now, but that's with the bonsai, I mean. And if you guys are lucky or you demand it from me, then maybe know my next stream or subsequent streams, I can show you another plant and tell you the story of that one. But let's go ahead and jump into a league game match thing. And Odysseus, I mean, like, I know a lot of stuff, but nowhere near like everything there is to learn. This guy is like a grinder. Hopefully we get some good cards. Yeah, this is a keep. Looks good. I was going to say that there's so much to learn, like, because it's not just about broad things like when to repot and, you know, what kind of soil to use. It's also super species specific. So like if you want to grow a juniper, you need to know a lot about junipers. If you want to grow like a bald cypress, you need to learn about bald cypresses. Not sure what Scalding Tarn is representing, but I'm just going to play my snow-covered island and pass the turn. Yeah, I mean, I figure you guys would find that interesting. I mean, life isn't just about magic, right? My nose is itchy today. I think this is fine. They're going to put the stupid bird down, and I can play my Coatl and then path it on the next turn. Or just path it now and then play Eternal Witness and get back path. That also seems very good. So if I play the Coatl now, I can path on my turn and hold up Ephemerate, which also seems quite good. So I kind of like getting the creature down on the battlefield, drawing another card. Another Coatl is excellent. Well, Bonsai is really, really, really fun, and you never get bored with it. So if I'm planning on pathing and then holding up Ephemerate, I do need another white land. I'd like to get basics to turn on Death Touch as quickly as possible. So I guess I'm sort of priced into getting a basic Plains here. And then I can go get like a the Canopy Vista with this if I feel like it. I don't believe they play counter spells, so I'm going to path during their upkeep. And I'll hold Ephemerate up. So if I'm going to get a basic plains, I guess I'll just get it during their upkeep. I'm already a little behind on time, so I'm just to let you guys know, I'm thinking about it. Okay. Threat dealt with. Bring it on. Okay, another Monomorphos into another bird, I guess, right? Okay. You got it. They're going to keep scrying. I forgot to tell you guys what they did with the first scry, but I'll let you know with this one. They went top, which is a little bit annoying, but actually getting a second Coatl down right now will already establish Death Touch. If they have the Lava Dart, they might just cast it now and deal with both of my Coatls, but I've got to use my mana efficiently, so let's see how it goes. If I draw a blue card, I could force it. Didn't draw the blue card. Opponent with the weird bluff. So as I said, I'm going to go get the Canopy Vista. I'm going to play Eternal Witness, and I'm going to... But let me attack first, maybe. Because if they do Lava Dart, which they could... I would like to Ephemerate, or, you know, force it or something, but, Okay, Canopy Vista. You got so many people talk smack about Canopy Vista, but look, it's like a it's a painless dual land. If they have Lava Dart, I mean, they might be priced into like saving it on their turn for prowess triggers, so I'm going to just once again upkeep path this thing. And yeah, I don't know, feeling okay here. What's the opponent got? Looks like nothing. Now we do have force up. All right. Very comfortably dealing with their threats so far. We will want to be aware of Blood Moon in games 2 and 3. So guys, please don't let me forget about Blood Moon. Now, do I want to counter this? I think it's sort of fine. I think I just want to chill, and then next turn probably Ephemerate the Eternal Witness, get back path to exile. Hey, Erickson, you missed some of my Bonsai spiel. My opponent finally going to deal some damage to me, but they are tapped out, and they have no Lava Darts in the graveyard, so their creatures are not long for this world. Up, mutagenic growth. Let's see. So this is going to make it a 5/5. And I don't really see how I can force this. Next turn I get to hold up force. I just take some damage now. Whatever. Okay, just naturally drawing an Eternal Witness is interesting. So she can go get back path. I can play my Hallowed Fountain tapped and just hold up force and path. I've seen the black and red decks play Apostle's Blessing, but I've never seen the blue-red decks play them. So I'm just going to leave my snakes up for now. I will attack with Eternal Witness. Opponent's got some redraws with those eyelets. Okay, redraw number 1. They know I have the path. Lava Dart. So I've been waiting for that. They could have another one, but it is an excellent target for Force of Negation. Just excellent. Okay. I'm happy to trade a snake for this Sprite Dragon. I was going to say for the Swift Spear. Yeah, I'm going to trade a snake for the Swift Spear. So yeah, I was saying, please do remind me about Blood Moon. I'm gonna try to keep on top of myself. Wow. I mean, I can just chill on Ephemerate Path, so I think I'm just going to go like Uro here, and I'm not going to Ephemerate him, I don't think, right away. Better to, I mean, Ephemerating him is pretty good, and then I catch a rebound with Eternal Witness. I just worry about them top decking like another Lava Dart. Nah, I'm gonna get Uro back. So losing a snake though did take me off Death Touch, which is interesting. I think attacking with witnesses is fine. But I don't have Death Touch, so it's like I might as well just. Am I putting them? I don't. If they had the Lava Dart, they would use it, right? So, I don't think I'm attacking with anybody right now, honestly. This is just how I play. Not saying it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but I am going to Ephemerate now. Wait, am I? No, I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna play chill. I've got Uro coming. I'm at 13 life. Opponent is fairly low on cards. Another Sprite Dragon seems pretty good. I can go for like the Coatl like Ghost Block. Let's see what they're working with as far as other spells go. Yeah, so I'm sort of fine going for the Ghost Block here and sort of forcing their hand on removal on my Ice Fang. Of course, if they go after like Eternal Witness with removal, so they're growing the Soul Scar. I kind of want to just kill the Soul Scar now with like Path, right? It could have a Bolt. All right, so I'll just Ephemerate this guy, take a little bit of damage from the Soul Scar. I mean, 2 cards left in hand. I'm not. Are they going to kill the snake right now? All right. Well, that's a trade I'm happy to take. I think we've got Uro coming. Speaking of Uro, all right. I mean, opponent is in a pretty tough spot. I'm blocking the Soul Scar no matter what. Okay. Monomorphos is a good start. Like, I think Bolt kills us. Oh, come on. Am I going to lose another game like this to the stupid deck? So I really hope that the last card is nothing in their hand. I can't block here. I mean, like, Soulherder for Ephemerate and Path seems awesome. I've also got Call. I could call for... I think the first thing to do is just to attack with Uro here. So I think I can Soulherder and then call for like a snake and block their dude if it comes to that. I don't like that Stonehorn just like, well, Stonehorn makes it so that they have to kill me with burn. But I think I'm definitely playing Uro here to gain 3 more life. I can't really justify not doing that. Well, hang on a second. I mean, I'm definitely playing Soulherder, hoping they have nothing and just, like, get back Path, like, not playing around. So let's start with Soulherder. If I'm going to Soulherder, it's, like, over here, and then got these 2 lands. I can, call for a snake to block this guy. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, they're F6'd. They're super F6'd. And with them being F6'd, if they're gonna play me, oh wait, are they just scooping? They're scooping because I can get the path. Okay, Jesus. Like, I lost another stream game to this deck when they had like exactly double bolt plus like evasive damage. Okay, so Blood Moon comes in, so Night comes in. It also just gains life, which is decent. Worship is... Oh, come on. Oh, my sideboard is glitching. No. I can't sideboard. What is going on? Oh, wait. Is it working now? Oh my god. Something is going on with my interface here. All right. Oof. Veil, not useful in this matchup, right? I think I take out one force, maybe leave in 2. Soulherder was pretty good in that spot. I think we leave in the calls for like Stonehorn. Watcher is super slow. Skyclave is awesome. I think Mimic is kind of weird and slow. Thassa is weird and slow. I think Soulherder is just maybe, you know, I think I leave in Thassa. It's just part of like rediscovering Thassa. She can tap things down, so that makes her worthwhile. And I'll trim Soulherder since it dies more easily. I don't know that Teferi is so useful in the matchup. If I'm looking for things to trim, I think we're more just on the removal plan. Path, obviously good. Maybe I trim 1 call because we need to make space. We have so many crazy cards. It does seem good, but we have all this removal, right? We're bringing in removal to make space. Removal trumps, I think, Teferi. Maybe take Thassa out for Teferi. Deputy slows them down, but they have ETBs. Maybe Deputy's not great. Skyclave will cover that ground. Got to trim 1 more card. I mean, yeah, I can go down to 1 force. I usually trim all of them, I think, but I loved force there to counter a lava dart. Like lava dart is one of the few cards that they play that can skew it extremely hard in their direction. Was that the game where I just mulliganed to 5? I don't think so. I think that was in a previous round. I mean, this is slow, but we've got a lot of cards. Opponent starting with 7. We've got no removal, but Uro is awesome. I think I'll play this and go get blue-white on turn 1. I think this is good enough to keep. Oh, I do need to get basics. I told you guys to remind me about basics, but at the same time, I just get wrecked if I get basics. So maybe this is a mulligan. Maybe this is a mulligan, as good as it looks. It's just too fast of a matchup. And I have no plays here for the first few turns. So as good as it looks, if they have like turn 3 Blood Moon, I just lose. If I don't draw snakes or lands, I lose. So I think I mulligan. And this is significantly better. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to bottom the call. I'm going to lean really hard on my value creatures here. I'm way behind on time, but I only used about a third of the clock in that game. But still, I should play faster for sure. Opponent with no turn 1 and a third land. Beauty. That means I can play this and get basic blue, because I definitely want to get basic blue. Then I go basic green, and then depending on what I see, I can get whatever I want with this Heath. And basics also get me closer to Death Touch, which, you know, with 2 snakes, 2 flying snakes in hand seems pretty good. In this spot, though, I think I probably want to ramp. I don't think I'm chumping here. Path is a good one. So if they don't play Blood Moon here, then I get to get a basic planes. Are they just going off here with Sprite Dragon now? They did keep 7. Oh yes, come on. Gut shot. Ugh, gut shot. They save that for their next turn. It's gonna be a flying bird thing. So I can cast a Coatl, get a basic, have Death Touch, and have Path. So some interaction. They do have a Gut Shot, which is kind of obnoxious. Both of their creatures are flying. I mean, I sort of have. They have the Gut Shot, which is just obnoxious. So maybe I go to combat, see what they do. Maybe they misplay. I can get an Ice Fang, get a basic. I mean, I'd love to not get a basic here. Like get Canopy Vista so that I can get back my land or get back Path. I'd also kind of love to just play another Oracle next turn. I'm putting myself very weak to just Beats in the Sky, but I do have a Path. So I mean, I could even just play the Witness right now, but I kind of want to leave up the Path. So let's go with the Oracle for now, except that we're going to take some damage in the air, actually quite a bit, but some of it should be prevented by the Path to Exile. Well, like half of it should be prevented. Excellent. Excellent. So I can say yes here. You know, I think I'm still going to say no and then just get a basic. I am just casting the Path no matter what. So I can't cast a snake, but we did get to ramp, which is just super, super good. All this thinking is taking time. Need to play a little faster. So we're going to path now, and then witness path. Okay, they've got to use their gut shot now or forever hold their peace. They know I have a path. I think it got revealed. So now I am going to, I guess I kill the bigger one right now, which is the Stormwing, and then well, it doesn't really matter too much. I kill the bigger one right now. And then next turn, witness path this thing. Want it with another Stormwing. Jesus, this is good stuff that they've got here. Oh my God, what did I didn't get the, okay, oof, that land saved me there. I couldn't witness. Now maybe I just want to double snake here. Double snaking seems pretty awesome. Yeah, that was sketchy. That was very sketchy. I mean, witness get back path seems like is obviously the safer line. And I think I should take the safer line. And then next turn I can double snake, which should hopefully just lock it up. Now they might bring in Spell Pierce or something, right? So, oh, they're extracting this. Get out of here. Okay, I've been got. At least I'll have a lot of time for the next game. Could always top deck like Stonehorn Dignitary. We have Celestial Purges. We have snakes. The snakes can put up a fight, but I think we're just dead on their turn. Are you guys seeing this? It's pretty dirty stuff. All right. I mean, that was bonkers, that hand that they had. Like, I kept removing their creatures, and they kept playing more creatures. Well, I kept removing. No, we were on the draw this game. So I killed one of their creatures. I had the witness. I had the snakes. And we're just toast now. Anyhow, we'll be on the play. I did mulligan that game. Give me a second, and I'll be right back. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I need to change a lot. All right, I'm just going to run it back. Let's go deck. We didn't get Blood Moon that game, but we were wisely aware of the possibility. Oh. Jesus. And they haven't seen Aetherval yet, so who knows if they bring in like a Braid or something. I think I have to get... well, they're going to play an elemental Stormwing entity next turn. So I can't purge it probably, which means I also can't Skyclave that thing, I believe. So let's just go ahead and get green-white here. We're going to shock ourselves. Oh, Jesus Christ. The deck sometimes just hooks it up so hard. It's nutty. We can gain life with Night of Autumn. Oh my god. Opponent on the mull to 6, maybe they kept the 1 lander. Totally fine with me if they, well, they're not going to cast this from the graveyard, I don't think. So let's stack these correctly. Even though I don't have any 2-drops to put in, let's pretend that I do. Okay, well, they have a land. Interesting. Oh, it's fine, man. We've got our Aether Vial. No worries. So if we stack it like this, then if I had a 2-drop in my hand, I could put it in to catch the rebound. This is how I should be doing this. But they just use 2 spells to get rid of a Coiling Oracle. It's pretty amazing for us. I think it's just the second Aether Vial here, like almost without a doubt. We've got the Purge up if they play like a little Sprite Dragon or something, or that thing. Then we've got Eternal Witness for more removal. I would have settled for a black creature too, either way. And now we chill on our Vial, basically, until their turn. Though they do have the Extraction, so gotta keep that in mind. Hard cast the Witness. Get back Purge. Violin, whatever. Just gain a bunch of life. I'm gonna get a basic here. Again, Blood Moon, you know? They have the Lava Dart that can get this from the graveyard, but with no creatures, I feel pretty good about this. Yeah, I was just saying a second ago, the Stormwing entity or whatever, I also can't purge it. Opponent seems like they're in a rough spot. Man, it would be great if I could have gotten back the Ephemerate. All right, see, playing out the second Aether Vial, pretty clutch. I think I'll just gain the life here, right? That's just... Or maybe I just go beat down, but... Oh, they're Lava Darting from the graveyard. Man, I got this guy pretty shook. Okay, surgically extracting my witnesses. So Graveyard, sort of done with, but yeah, I think gaining 4 life is almost better because they untap. Well, they don't have any lands. Maybe just putting down the 4/3 is probably the way to go. Thing is, we almost always ephemerate this guy at some point. And so, well, whatever. Let's... this is their turn, right? All right, let's do it. Backup Ether Vial. Love the backup Ether Vial. Opponent on the rough mulligan, I think. I mean, Lava Dart is an annoying card. I'm just going to do this for a possible ephemerate here. Auriok Champion. It's kind of ridiculous. They could have Kozilek's return. I think getting in the hit with Knight of Autumn was worth it. So remember that our graveyards are offline at this point. Opponent not hitting those lands. I guess I could put this Skyclave in at any point, but it kills almost all their creatures, so... That was the key piece there. So now on their end step, I think I am just going to get Skyclave down. I mean, drawing Uro would be like the final nail in the coffin. Gaining some life. Very nice. Yeah, just say nay to that. Gain some more life. Opponent trying to time us out with all these triggers. Gain some more life. Okay. That's a card. Two-turn clock. All right. Uro would have drawn Path. Jesus Christ, this is unfair right here. $14 trophies. 14 trophies. That makes me feel pretty good about myself. They're actually right here. All right, that was enjoyable. It was satisfying. Let's keep it going. Round 4. Paco el Flaco. That also sounds familiar. I think in Spanish that means Paco the Skinny. I think he's like a skinny dude. They're keeping 7, and this is a little too slow, so we have to mulligan. Significantly better. I love how the Ether Vial version mulligans. It just feels so good. We want blue-white, so I'm going to keep, and I'm probably just going to bottom the breeding pool here. Oh, okay. Regular old burn is gonna be tricky in game 1 for sure. So now we're looking for base. I'm gonna go. You guys get to see how good Canopy Vista is in this game. So I'm gonna go green. Actually, maybe I just get blue now, and then later I'm going to get green-white with this. Just thin the deck so I don't draw too many lands. Ether Vial could be clutch here if they have the turn 2 Eidolon. If we can draw our so turn, all right. If we can get to go call for Uro, that might get us there. Okay. All right, opponent hooking it up with the lands. So I mean, I kind of have to play my Oracle into this. Hope that it ramps us. All right, I mean, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. It's always like super tight and scary. I think I'm just chumping. Stonehorn is interesting. Just sort of content to continue chump blocking, I think. Though we won't be able to chump block next turn. More Eidolons. Lava Spike. Another Eidolon. Ah. And we're getting a little bit wrecked by our Watcher. And were we on the play this game or on the draw? I think we were on the draw. If we were on the play, it would be a totally different situation. Because the Ether Vial would be on 3 now, and I'd be able to call for Uro and gain some life and then start escaping him. Oh, you know what? I can deputy these Eidolons and just hope that he doesn't have enough, and then I can like block the Goblin Guide if they don't have more. No, I don't really want to. I want to get Canopy Vista. I think it's just better here. That's why I play Canopy Vista. Watcher for tomorrow being awkward. Ah, Jesus. I forgot. Yeah, it's getting hit pretty hard by the double triggers. So any burn gets me. Unless if they have 3 lands in hand, I have a chance to untap and get Uro. I don't have any snakes in hand. I'm not getting a snake. Main deck Skullcrack. Isn't that obnoxious? This is fine. Witness doesn't draw anything, so I can't get Force here. All right. That'll do. Opponent came out on the play with the Crazy Nuts. Our lands, you know, like we actually had good lands against the onslaught of the burn. But we do get to bring in Knight, who gains life and blows up Eidolons. Worship is an excellent card against burn. To bring in Force, Gust, and all of this stuff. Path. I mean, we've got some good cards. We just have to hope that they don't have the absolute nuts. Thassa can come out. I think maybe Stonehorn can come out. It's just so expensive is the problem. Wait, what? Forces don't come out against burn. Maybe you're unfamiliar with the burn matchup. They run a lot of spells. I think Teferi's pretty weak. It does stop suspended Rift Bolts. Deputy can come out. Need to focus. I think Stonehorn is too slow. We're just trying to remove their stuff and gain some life, stabilize behind Worship, hopefully. Maybe one call. We don't necessarily need 4. Watcher is way too slow. Nah, you shouldn't. Force is not bad. I mean, since you guys are saying it, maybe I'll trim to 3, but it's not. It's very good against burn. So strange to hear Cactus say that Force is bad. It's like one of the only the only things that stops like their like Searing Blazes and stuff. But I'll hedge and I'll leave the 4th Force in there since I need to trim some more cards. I mean, Call is clunky since it's so fast, this matchup. I think I trimmed another Call. Teferi is slow. And Soulherder just dies. So I think I'm fine with this setup. We did not have Aether Vial that game, or did we? We did, but it was too slow. So if they have like Destructive Revelry, or a Braid, or Smash to Smithereens, they'll probably bring it in. Gotta keep this. I'm going to thin the deck and get blue-white. Double white is going to be significant for Skyclave. I think for tempo's sake here, I kind of want to just path this thing now. And maybe I can just use next turn to call for Uro. I did just a little bit. But they do have Skullcrack. I just hold up the Snake and I hold up the Eladamri's Call. Escaping Uro is a thing, so I could also just call for Knight if they play like an Eidolon next turn. So thinning the deck, I think, is something that I'm interested in. But they're probably going to fill up my graveyard anyway, so maybe I just play the basic for now. Are they leaving up Skullcrack? Is that what's happening here? Or maybe they're leaving up... I feel like I should save the Ice Fang so that it can ephemerate it. So here I'm just like taking this anyway. Maybe they just have a handful of Searing Blazes and like, can they resist Boros Charming here? Lightning Helix. Okay, so now we get Uro. We cast Uro, I guess. And then we try to escape him as quickly as possible. Or do I just get Knight and gain 4 life? I think Uro's probably better. Or do I play the snake? I hold up Ephemerate and call next turn. I think that seems better. Not blocking. Calling for Uro, but if I cast Uro next turn, I mean, it gets in the graveyard around Skullcrack. I get to draw cards. I get to ramp. That's important. I can actually Ephemerate Uro, I guess, right? So let's do this now. The Plains makes it hard to escape him, but I'm going to have 5 lands at that point anyway. So I'm going to play this and then get the Canopy Vista. Actually, no, I need blue. I need more blue. And we've got the snake to flash in and catch the rebound. So let's just gain a bunch of life right now. I do need to get blue with this, though, which is super awkward. It's going to... Well, let's see if we draw a blue land. We don't. So maybe I get the blue later. Just play the Temple Garden now. Well, I think thinning the deck, we do need stuff in the graveyard for Uro anyway, if I'm talking about escaping. All right. One more card in the graveyard and we're escaping Uro. If they have triple bolt, we're just dead, guys. We're just dead. We're just dead. Turn 3. Oh, no, wait. All right. I live. Okay. Oof. Oh, I was so scared of that. Now, if I flash in to catch the rebound... Well, I mean... No. Anyhow. So I kind of need to gain life here. If I flash this in, I don't have the green and the blue, so I need to do Uro here. It's another Uro. Oh wait, I can't escape Uro right now. I'm falling apart. I can get a Path to Exile, but I'm just dead. I think I might have misstepped there. So now do I just Skyclave their Swiftspear? Puts me dead to a lightning, whatever. I can escape these next turn. I think I have to Skyclave. I hope that they don't have lethal. I'm sorry, guys. Seems I'm going to lose this one. One card in hand, and it is a Skullcrack. Why wouldn't it be? Well, as to why not a snake, Cactus, they could just, like, kill my snake and then get in with prowess. So getting rid of their attacker seems good. Ah, that was so nasty. They had like the ultra nuts like both games. If they just had another land in their hand, I would have gotten to untap, escape Uro. Ugh, shouldn't have looked. All right, anyhow. They just kept me back-footed the whole time. I never got to stabilize. Five-O Dream. Crushed. Regular burn doesn't play crash through, so that wasn't a concern. But we did die. We didn't die like from 1 point of damage. So cracking the fetch and casting Skyclave didn't really matter. They had easy overkill. Okay. Ugh, come on, deck. Let's do this. This is a hand. My face is itchy today. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. They're thinking about their 6. Okay. They're not F6 on turn 1, which means it could be a force deck. We've got lands, though. I wouldn't mind an opponent forcing this here. That's pretty cool, actually. They're already at card disadvantage, and now we just get to go bananas with our card advantage. I'm not going to give them a chance to counter this, because we do need to draw lands. Is this pausing? What's happening here? Oh, opponent's scooping? What? I don't know what's happening here. That felt very much like what my system does when they scoop. So another Ether Vial will do, I think. Opponent with the Polluted Delta. We saw they play Remand, so let me go and attack. Hopefully, if all they have is Remand, then the Ether Vial will get onto the battlefield. If they have a Monoleak, that's unfortunate, but they're going to run out of cards sooner or later. Excellent. Opponent is even on time with me right now. They did have to think about their mulligans for quite a bit. If they get it to Fairy down, it's pretty annoying for us, but I don't think it's backbreaking. Okay, so Teferi is annoying. I think we're in a position where Ephemerate is probably still fine here, but I'm going to let it resolve, actually. I'm not going to Ephemerate. Bouncing the snake, I mean, they get to draw a card, but it draws me a card as well. I quite like that. Oh, they're bouncing the Ether Vial after 1 turn. And now I get to kill it with Ice Fang? This opponent, I don't know, man. That's a terrible play. Maybe they just have, like, tons of Teferis. Wow, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Teferi's pretty busted. I mean, the play there usually is to bounce the snake so that I have no attackers, and then they get to untap and protect Teferi. All right, so they're putting Force of Negation on top of their deck, because the only land they had here is the Mystic Sanctuary. Maybe they'll choose not to. Yeah, they chose not to. Is this a Jace? If it's a Jace, I probably will Ephemerate. Okay, so it is Jace. They have played a land already this turn, so I'm sort of fine just letting this resolve for now. Jace is annoying, but we have Skyclaves. I mean, we've got the Ether Vial. I don't think calling for a land is the way to go. And honestly, I mean, maybe even ephemerating is not the way to go here. I think I can just like chill a little bit. I think I want to attack Jace, but we want to draw lands as well, so maybe ephemerating is more important. Drawing 2 extra cards seems pretty significant. All right, we got there, guys. We got there. So now it's just Snake hold up. Well, hold up path is kind of weird. Uro seems kind of busted in this matchup. So I think calling for him seems amazing, and the opponent's on 4 cards. So maybe I just call right now and get Uro and just make things like super difficult for the opponent. If they want to force me, it's totally fine. They're F6'd. So we're going to get... Actually, you know what? Dealing with Jace might be more important. We're going to be able to call for more stuff later, and we don't need... Yeah, that seems fine. Totally fine. We don't need the life gain right now. We would just like to kill the Jace as soon as possible. Okay, opponent cracking the Flooded Strand. They're slightly ahead on time, but that's only because I'm playing a little slowly. Oh man, if they get big Teferi down, we can eventually Ewit for Eladamri's Call, get the like Deputy of Detention, get the Ephemerate eventually, get our own lock going on. We do need to kill this Jace immediately. If they tap out for Teferi, Counterbalance. Counterbalance is fine. Sorry. I am not going to cast Skyclave into Counterbalance. Just not going to. I'm going to use Ether Vial. So we're going to play slow. Slow and steady wins the race. I think I want to keep thinning the deck. They've got 3 mana up, 4 cards in hand, but they are brainstorming every turn. Are they pathing this? Condemn. Bottom of my library. Seems okay. 2 mana left is representing Remand pretty hard or something to that effect. They do also have Counterbalance. So, again, I kind of feel like I can just play at instant speed in general. But maybe I want to play... this now. Just maybe draw something that I might want to play on my turn. Okay, I could have thinned the deck before that, but you know what? I think like running this out into a potential counterspell seems fine. I've got a redundant one. Let's see if the opponent found a 3-drop to put on top. Okay, they're opting to see if they have the 3. They put it on the bottom. So now we're going to resolve and hopefully a Flooded Strand. I think we're going to get to resolve this. Beautiful. Now we know that there's a Flooded Strand on top, so we probably want to resolve Call right now. And I will call at this point just for more stuff that blows up their stuff, I think. Flooded Strand is still on the top. I mean, it should be. Didn't go anywhere, right? Okay. So, I think taking Deputy seems pretty nice here. Although, yeah, I think Deputy is probably the way to go. Just ways to, I don't know, maybe Skyclave is just better. I'll take another Skyclave. And now we're just going to untap and just wreck them, I think. Unless they can find a way to deal with Ether Vial immediately. No, Uro will come eventually. I still have Eternal Witness to get back the call. I think the most important thing is just dealing with their permanents. And then, you know, they are behind us on resources despite the Jace. It looks like they have 7 cards, but they have to put some back, so... The Aether Vial is sort of incredible. They already ran out 2 of their Mystic Sanctuaries. This is a Miracles deck, so they don't run Supreme Verdict, they only run Terminus. Now I've got enough power actually just to try to kill the Jace. Through combat. Opponent is doing their best to equalize time. I haven't drawn any of my forces yet. Those will come in rather handy. Okay, opponent passing with 6 lands up, it looks like. Are we getting... yeah, they're going to cryptic this back to my hand. Sort of seems okay, and then maybe they counter it with counterbalance, but... so they're returning it to hand, and I'm sure they're going to draw a card. Okay. All right, so... Did they manage to find a 3-drop? They did. They did. They found an Archmage's Charm. So dirty. All right, opponent's hanging on here. It doesn't matter which I play first. I don't know, like, why would I? Why does it matter? Like, they're going to have what they have on top of their deck, right? Oh, they tapped my creatures. Interesting. So they have no removal in hand. Archmage's Charm was on top of the deck, so they should have an Archmage's Charm in their hand at this point. You can explain while I'm playing, I guess, why it matters here. Oh, you mean to see if the coast is clear with counterbalance? That's actually smart. But they wouldn't have revealed with counterbalance. They can choose not to use it, right? Come on, let's get a win in this game. Like, just... The opponent has been just... Okay, Path to Exile. We're going to sort of draw all the lands in our deck pretty soon. I feel like trying to run out Soulherder seems okay. Start generating our own value. I can flash in a Coatl on their turn. If so they chose not to use it. Is this going to resolve? They must know that I have a second Skyclave Apparition in hand. But I think the time is now. Maybe I should have hit Counterbalance first and then Jace, but I'm kind of fine leaving the Counterbalance and just generating card advantage with Coiling Oracle. Okay, pretty nice. So opponent probably just slow rolling a Terminus, which is sort of okay because we've got the Ewit and we can just rebuild. There it is. Actually, you know, these creatures are going to get tucked. So Ewit doesn't get them back, but it does get to get other stuff. And I could just path this 4/4 that this makes. Obviously much better just to get rid of the Jace. Opponent on 2 cards. No card advantage from Jace anymore. If they want to try to counter this, that's totally fine. they go for it, it will show us what's on top of their deck. I'm not sure that they didn't scry this turn or anything. They just played a land, I think, after the Terminus. But they may still know something from Jace. Opponent is only like 15 seconds ahead of me on the clock. They are really thinking about this here. So in a game where you use Skyclave a bunch, Deputy of Detention becomes much more valuable because it cleans up all of the illusion tokens. Opponent is officially behind me on the clock here. Let's try to maintain that. I actually played against this deck this week sometime, so it's getting more popular again. I mean, what is there to think about here? They have 2 cards in hand. I guess if they reveal, then it's like carte blanche for me to just cast whatever I want to cast, which probably means they don't have any counter spells in hand. But still, that's a funny game to play. What did they reveal? They revealed Counterbalance. That's nice. But they're shuffling it away, so no more Counterbalance on the top. All right, cool. We got rid of that 4/4. Taking this up, we'll be able to get a Coatl into play, if nothing else. And yeah, another Ether Vial seems fine. Well, this is going to test what they have on top of the deck, I guess. Oh, it got countered. There's a Path to Exile. So now I think I just start casting my stuff. This will get Ephemerate back. So their Path to Exile becomes far less useful. Oh, they have a counter spell. Interesting. I guess we knew that they had an Archmage's Charm. Now, they're drawing 2 cards. This is always super greedy. I guess they know that they're getting a Path to Exile. I can flash in my Snake if they try to path the Eternal Witness. Okay, so Counterbalance is revealed. I think Eternal Witness looks like it's going to resolve. Now, unfortunately, the way that I tap my lands, I wouldn't be able to cast Force anyway. So this is being countered, and they're going to draw. So I think I just let that resolve. Play Stonehorn, of all things. All right. So opponent does have more cards than me at this point, but this Ether Vial is going to hopefully play around Counterbalance, but they've managed to keep it off the board. So Jesus, look at that. All right, 7-turn clock. Here we go. Double path against the control deck. It's like drawing 2 extra counterbalances. I don't have any more basics, I don't think. So this is going to be a top deck battle here. Like if one of these Path to Exiles were an Ephemerate, it would be kind of nutty. Jesus, what are they drawing here? Like the best card in their deck. This is absurd. I guess I shouldn't have cast the Eternal Witness. It was too important, and they had a counterspell. Well, that's sort of something. So now I'm sort of have to divert my attention for the moment to Teferi. Now this is bold. I guess they have to use their spells, but this would be sick for me if this resolved. Well, triple counterbalance, Jesus Christ. Come on, just let this resolve. Jace the Mind Sculptor. I think I'd rather the path resolve. We have more Eternal Witnesses. We have more Skyclave Apparitions. We are ahead on the clock, and I'm going to make it my business to stay ahead on the clock. I think they found something. They put something on the top, but maybe it's not. All right. So Jace the Mind Sculptor, they left it on the top. But it seemed like they would have drawn that off of the Omen, but what is even happening here? Scrying 2. Oh, yeah. Scrying 2. But they already know the Jace is there, so they're still looking for a 1-drop. They went bottom. Oh my god, they found an opt? Fuck. I say no and just pass the turn. And we just try to stay ahead on the clock. We've got so many cards that can sort of draw us back into this game. Particularly Uro is sensational. They're trying to Fate Seal me now, so... They went bottom, so that means I have a chance to draw something here. Definitely take out these Path to Exiles. Ugh, okay, so reactive. And probably a little too late. I mean, we can compete with this card draw, but opponent just had a lot of answers at the right time. I did make a misstep by rushing the Eternal Witness. That was uncalled for. I was playing correctly earlier where I was slow rolling through the Ether Vial, but then they got bounced the Ether Vial first, and I got a little bit anxious. And I say okay. Jesus Christ! All right, this is all about the time now. Basically, I'm pretty sure I'm out of it. Too many brainstorms. Well, Entreat, I guess I can try to counter it. Just again to sort of get some time. Are they going to leave, like, Remand up or something? I'm just tapping out. It is my turn. They could cast Force. They could also just counterbalance the bejesus out of me. Okay, Path to Exile. Not really doing very much. And they have no way to scry or whatever. So hopefully this is their one like beatdown win condition, and we get another like 2 minutes off their clock. Because sometimes I think they only run like a single copy of this card. And now it's getting... Oh, they had a Force. Slow rolling it. All right, so no more time off the clock. I get to path some angels if I want. It's 4 4s, and if we get rid of 2, it's still 5, it's still 20. So yeah, they're going to take me down here. Man. I feel like that game should have been a fairly easy win, but it was we lost. Just didn't follow my own best advice. But we have 2 more games to hopefully do better. The Force comes in, the Ashioks come in. Veil comes in. Paths come out. Maybe wins for Angels, but it's like if we get to the Angels point and I'm not forcing it, I think we've lost. I'm going to run to the bathroom 1 sec. So, I mean, Knight, just for a body, they have the Omen of the Sea, but, like, I don't know, blowing that up is not that amazing. There's not too much stuff that we really, really need to call for, so I think trimming 2 calls is sort of okay. Watcher for Tomorrow is amazing in these matchups. I mentioned earlier that I played against this deck once already this week, and when I played against it, it just felt like an absolute buy. It felt ridiculously easy. I think I just I didn't play as well as I should have that game. Oh, Counterbalance, of course. I'm not used to there being enchantments in these blue-white control decks, but now they're bringing back the Counterbalance, so obviously Knight, quite good here. We also have the Skyclaves. I mean, okay, we'll keep this. We're going to play this tapped. Glasspool Mimic doing its job as a land here. Opponent mulligan to 6. They did that last game as well, I believe. Snake off the top would be pretty good. Oh my god. Actually, so now what we do is we play the snake on the opponent's end step and hope that they counter it so that we get to Fairy down. Oh, is this a counterbalance right now? I can play to Fairy and just bounce that. But I would play the snake, I guess, ahead of the counterbalance, obviously. And then it's a roll of the dice as to whether we get to resolve this game-breaking spell right here. I mean, we could wait until next turn and hold up to Fairy with Veil. That actually seems stronger. I think I'll probably do that. But for this turn, I think I'll just try to go Skyclave on the counterbalance, because the opponent can't counter the Skyclave. They could play their own to Fairy. But I think Skyclave here is the way to go. Oh, come on. Don't counter it, please. Polluted Delta. Praise the Lord. Now we get to go for Skyclave with Veil of Summer backup, which is amazing, because if the opponent goes for, like, Archmage's Charm, oh, what a blowout. So I'm just opening with Teferi here. Let's see what they've got. Come on, Archmage's Charm. And if they Jace next turn and, like, try to bounce the Skyclave or whatever, like, okay, looks like they're going for it. Come on, let's do this. Counter Teferi. You know you want to. Come on. Now they could have another force. Sweet. So now maybe I bounce my Coatl. So I have a blue card to pitch if I need to. Okay, all right. We're doing okay, guys. We're still ahead on the clock. We dealt with a counterbalance. Teferi's on the table. Oh, did I miss an attack? Jesus, I thought for some reason I was in my second main, but you guys are correct. This has to not, yeah, they choose not to use it. Like, if they go for Jace, I just have to, I just miss an attack? That's ridiculous. I always think about attacking before I bounce with Teferi, but again, somehow I felt like I was in my second main, but I was not. Yeah, no, I know. Thank you. My bad. And if they tap out here, I get to play Eternal Witness, get back Veil of Summer. Yeah, this is getting countered for sure. Okay, so now maybe, I mean, it depends on what they do, but I don't have Call on this turn. I do have an Ephemerate up. So maybe, I also don't have Veil up. So maybe just getting Flooded, the Force here seems good. I do have Ephemerate with Teferi, so I do have access to the Veil whenever I want it. If they pass to the end step, I mean, after trying to play some stuff or playing some stuff, then, oh, they just scoop the game, which is very, very smart. Super savvy, because tough spot for them to be in. And they want to be able to play Magic in game 3. I was just about to start saying, we kind of want this game to remain in like a winning position for as long as we can. I'm slightly over a minute ahead on the clock, but with 11 minutes left on the clock, like the chances of anybody timing out are super low. All right, so being on the play is pretty sweet. That I was that game because the opponent had to tap out for their counterbalance. Then I got to just play Skyclave Apparition, so they didn't get to hold up any kind of counter magic. All right, well, this game will be for the 4-1. The deck has felt really nice so far. This league, we just got destroyed by Burn. Any suggestions on the sideboard? I feel like it's good. Like if they have a Celestial Colonnade for beats, you know, we actually have answers to that with Icefang Coatl. So it's not like we need to keep in any paths, and we saw that, you know, they have the Angel battle plan. We kind of have an answer to that with Deputy. It kind of requires Ether Vial to be online, I think, unless they just main phase the Angels. So I'm going to just submit. We'll stay ahead on time and hopefully, you know, get a good opening hand. Veil definitely did its job in that game too. Yeah, you're right about that, because I had I think I had Uro coming online in like both games sooner. Well, game 1 sooner, but I lost the die roll. An opponent. The last card in the hand was Skullcrack though, so it's possible they just had me, even if I even if I did get to the point where I could have tried vialing in Uro to gain life. Main deck Skullcrack in their opening hand. Opponent is really milking this sideboarding time here. So 2 or 3 lands, Ether Vial, some snakes, maybe a Force. I would love to deal with an early Teferi. And just like 2 Ether Vials would be awesome, as long as we have a land to be able to cast them. This is a keep. A little bit weird. We need to draw some gas. All right, so we are over a minute ahead on the clock. Opponent going to flash in this Omen of the Sea. It's sort of okay. They went bottom top. All right, well, we're going to play our snake. We'll see how they respond. And then it's probably just Uro time. Seemed like they were almost not going to cast Teferi. Oh my god. I'm casting this, guys. Teferi is such a pain in the ass. I have another Uro in the deck. Blue land. Come on, blue land. Oh my god. Another force. Let's play this Canopy Vista. Do have an Ephemerate if they try to path something. Looks like they're taking their beats here. And you know, force pitching force is a thing. I mean, Cactus, like, there's no knowing if anything's correct. Teferi is a monster against us. But now I've got counter spells up, and I've got Ephemerate up. Imagine if Teferi was on the board, right? My counter spells would be useless, and my Ephemerate would be very bad. What are we doing? Counterbalance? I feel like we can fight over that. What, you guys let me know. Like, should I fight over this? Let me know quick. I don't want to lose any time. Should I fight over this, or should I just let it go? Come on, let's go. Give me an answer. I want your opinion. I'm in favor of kind of letting it go, but also at the same time, I kind of like countering it. Nope, what? You think I don't counter it? Or do I let it go? You gotta be more clear. Ephemerate what now? So you guys think I let it go. Let's be clear. Let it go or counter it. That's not the question I'm asking. I'm gonna be behind on time because you guys are sort of ridiculous. So Neil, you're saying don't counter it, right? Let it go. I'm not going to Ephemerate now anyway, because if they have path, they're just waiting for it. So I'm not letting counterbalance force my hand on Ephemerate. I will just play this out right now. We'll see what's on top of their deck. Flooded Strand. And just once again, like, unless they try to path something, I'm not going to Ephemerate. I blame you guys as often as possible. So oh no, I forgot to play my land. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's see if they have another path. Not getting anything back from the graveyard, but we saved our creature, a very important one. And if they just untap, play a Flooded Strand, and jam like Teferi, then hopefully this Force of Negation will do work. I mean, okay, we know they drew a Flooded Strand. They can't blind counter this. That would be such bad beats. All right, so they have an Opt on top, which means that the Opt is going to counter my Ephemerate, which is obnoxious. Like, really, really obnoxious. Oh, crack this, please crack it. Crack it now. I can't. Opt is going to counter my Ephemerate. So since I know it's going to counter, well, whatever. If they mess this up, the best thing for this to counter and hit is Eternal Witness, so. Okay. That's a blow. That's pretty good, though. Let me go to attacks. We know that Opt is on top of the deck. They have a crack to get another look if they want to try to counter this thing. I think I just get it out on the battlefield, right? Like, it's too far to wait for the Ether Vial to get online, and I have nothing else to do. So let's see if they crack this. I imagine they will. Oh, but wait, can they put a 3-drop on top? They don't have a 3-drop to put on top with the Mystic whatever, Mystic Sanctuary. So, what do you got, opponent? Totally blind. Counterbalance. Oh, they get to play another counterbalance. That's fun. I will play my land. Guys are hating now. I'm slightly ahead on the clock, but not by as much as I was because you took forever to answer. Come on, give me some value, please. Please. No. Opponent's at 8. This is a 2-turn clock. Can we get there? Am I just getting like, oh my god. Yes, please. Put it on the top. Ether Gust. Dude. So I'm not gonna fetch. I'm not even gonna play my fetch because I would mess that up. I know how I roll. I would crack my fetch and my Eternal Witness would go away. It's kind of amazing that I don't have double blue at this point. Opponent is scrying and then drawing. So they went bottom, and then they drew a card. And they just gave us access to this Eternal Witness, which is freaking awesome. Like, to save 2 points of damage, you give me another ETB trigger. Are they going to take over my Ether Vial with, like, Archmage's Charm? They did go bottom, so they don't know what their top card is right now. Actually, they wouldn't anyway, because they would have drawn a card. They draw a card off Omen of the Sea. They're thinking if they can afford to waste their Archmage's Charm, but I don't think they can. I think they're right now just, like, regretting. I'm going to play my land because it turns on Force of Negation. My lead on time is expanding. They're at 4. That's a 2-turn clock with Witness alone. So I think I'm countering this, guys, right? I think I'm countering this. I don't want to let them draw 2 cards. I think I'm going to Ephemerate. Oh, but if I counter, they could have a 3-drop on the top, but I think I have to counter this. But also, at the same time, they're at 4. I can just hit them on their end step. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to force it. I'm going to let them draw their cards. Let them do what they want to do, and I'm going to present lethal. They know I have the Eternal Witness. Yeah, counterbalance is a thing. But they don't know what's on top of their deck. So I think Force is the better grab here. I don't want to put myself weak to, like, Path. Jeez. All right. That's going to resolve. They're scrying here. They went bottom, bottom. They drew a card. They're going for path, and I'm going to go for force, because that's why I brought it. That's why I got it from the graveyard. Or do I let it resolve? You guys want to weigh in real quick? Because a path, you know, thins a deck. It doesn't really matter. They get back another counterbalance. They're taking 3 as things stand and double lethal on board. Do I just let this go? All right, you guys are like the Merfolk players would let it go. I'm gonna let it go, I think. Get that last island out of my deck. Let him take some damage. I think I'll play the second Ether Vial. We're like equal on time, but only because I'm like taking forever with my stupid decisions. Let's see if they can counter this. Cryptic Command is nasty, but we do have a force in hand. I just need to draw some creatures. Like, I keep drawing lands and Ether Vials. So Cryptic Command is on top of their deck, and that is an excellent thing to try to force. They could... Okay, here we go. Come on. Give me anything. Give me a snake. Any creature. They are literally at 1. Where's my Siege Rhino? Good. Very nice. I'm not casting that. I'm going to definitely get it into play through Ether Vial. I am already like 15 seconds ahead on the clock. All right, we go for the counter. Opponent gets the blind flip here. And they hit it with Archmage's Charm. That's absurd. Okay, whatever. I think they needed to hit that, and they did. And they have an Archmage's Charm now. But they are at 1, and we are ahead on the clock. We haven't had to deal with any Planeswalkers yet. We have 2 Ether Vials. I have a lethal creature in my hand. 2 lethal creatures with flash in my hand. I'm doubting this deck has ways to gain life. Another Cryptic, tap and draw a card. That's going to be fine. That's going to be fine. I'm just going to keep leaning with these creatures that I have until they run out of resources. And then I'm going to flash in a Coatl and just get them. And I'm going to do that twice. Oh my god. I have to try to cast that. Maybe I should have cast it before I went to combat even. But no, probably not. Another Cryptic, a third Cryptic. Is that what's happening? Target player draws 2 cards. You got it, buddy. Come on. Steal some damage. That's what this power is for, right? Power toughness. If we get Ashiok down, it takes out one of their legs because, oh my god. What is it? Opponent's just like slow rolling the bejesus out of me here. Do you have it or do you not have it? All right, they're drawing 2 more cards, but now they're just dead, I'm pretty sure. So just out of interest. All right. We got there, guys, even without Ashiok's help. So we got to play some very, very interesting Magic today. I lost to Burn. I lost to Burn with the nuts, and you can't really be too salty about that. I beat the control deck. I beat the aggro. So the control deck is Blue-White Miracles. I beat the mill deck with Uro, of all things, right? I beat the aggro deck in Blue-Red Prowess. And then the very first deck that I played against, it was like a buy, right? Oh, it was like 4-color Jeskai Omnath, right? So two control decks, an aggro deck, and I guess mill is like its own thing, right? It's not. I guess you can call it like a control deck or something, but it's kind of its own thing. So it's why we play Soulherder, because it's super flexible. It's always fun. It always has game. Like even against Burn with the nuts, like we had chances. Like if they had 1 land in hand, or if we were on the play instead of on the draw, like we could have totally been in it. So yeah, we got the 4-1, guys. Thanks very much. And you guys definitely had some helpful suggestions in some of the games. And I'm not such a crazy grinder like that. I don't like your guys' input. I know like Aspiring Spike is like, chat, don't tell me what to do. He might just only do that during the challenges, to be honest. But I've definitely seen him like shun the chat, and I'll take all the help I can get because I mean usually I'm like people Ether Gust my Eternal Witness, and then I crack a fetch, and I'm just like wrecking myself. But I don't think I punted that many times in this league. I definitely remember feeling like I could have done some little things slightly better, but no major punts, I don't think. Certainly not against Burn. Like we didn't lose to Burn because of a punt, and then we won everything else. So doing something right. So yeah, thanks for the congrats, DV Neil. Cactus, I think you were here for like 4 or 5 of the matches. So that's pretty awesome. I like doing these afternoon streams because some of the Europe crowd can join me. So, I've pretty much only been playing Soulherder recently. I guess I was on Merfolk for a while, but I'm somewhat unmotivated with that deck. And in the last few months, I mean, I was down to like 0 like resources after buying some of the cards for this deck. I remember like having to scrape together for like I think I have 3 Uros now in my collection, but they were pretty pricey. But over the last few months, like I've just been stacking up, mostly with Soulherder, but I did get a couple of 5-0s with Merfolk. I think four 5-0s with Soulherder in the last, I don't know, half year or so. 2 more recently. But yeah, it's so much fun to play. Like Gaia's Blessing, man. Like there's nothing like it, right? Like what a super interesting dynamic this card creates. Against Mill, it's like so fun because you almost can't lose, right? It's just like how are they? I guess they figured out that they had a weakness, and like weakness to stuff like Gaia's Blessing and the Eldrazi Titans shuffling the libraries, and so they started playing Uro as like a beatdown plan. But I also think there's like this 1-drop rogue that becomes like a 3/2 Death Toucher. Is it like League Enforcer or something? It's like Guilt League Enforcer or something. And I think that card's pretty good in that deck. I guess Uro's pretty good. They do mill themselves with that artifact, Orb, Mesmeric Orb. So I guess Uro is value for them, since they always have the resources. Well, not always, but very often they play tons of fetches. So yeah, anyhow, I want to see Mill like all day. I played against like just a regular Gruul, just straight up red-green. It was like a Scoot Swarm deck. You guys play Standard? You know what that card is? It was a pretty interesting deck. Come on, let's go. There we go. So Scoot Swarm is like a 3-drop 1/1. It's worse than Marrow Regery in that sense. But they play it when it resolves. They retain priority, so they can play a fetch land and crack it and get. Oh, excuse me. They get 2 insects right away. And then if they have, it's a really good top deck later in the game, because if they have 6 lands, then it just copies itself. And then you get double triggers, and then you get quadruple triggers, and then they get like 60 Scoot Swarms. So it was running, so DV, I didn't watch that. And actually, like my habit with Goldfish has been like, I'll see one of their videos, love it, and then I just binge on Goldfish for days. But then I kind of forget about it for a while, and then they make like another 20 videos, and then I just get to just watch all their videos again. Sit down and just go bananas with Goldfish videos. So it was I didn't see that one, but maybe you can tell me. It's red-green, and it ran Chandras, and the whole point was like to go wide. They had like Perforos, I think, like buffs their creatures. They played a Perforos, and then I like Celestial Purged it. Like I was in complete control of that game. Did I spell that wrong? Is it Porphyros? Porf? Like a porpoise? Porpoise? I thought it was Perforos, but I guess it's porphyry. Not like pour yourself a glass of wine. I'm sure this is just like riveting for you guys. There we go. Look at all those perfs. So yeah, they play this thing. So they creatures you control get +1/+0. So they get like 8,000 insects, and then they start pumping them with Perforos. They also run Chandra, like Stupid Chandra, one of the Stupid Chandras, to make the 2 elemental tokens, but those get exiled, so it's not even like building up a wide board. It lets them like recast stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's like 8,000 Chandra cards. It's this one. So it plays this one that makes the elementals. It also has Kessig Wolfrun. I don't know. It's just like I had Deputy of Detention, so I was like piecing out their tokens, and then just like Celestial Purge on everything else that they play. They had Blood Moon, but I had Ether Vial and Celestial Purges. Yeah, I typed in perf, but I think I must have just gotten the whole name wrong, like Perforos. I think I must have spelled something wrong, because it didn't come up when I typed this. And oh, there we go. I must have missed something. So anyhow, I guess the point is like what we're good against, what we're bad against. If you just play like a generic semi-mid-rangey creature deck, like, oh my god, like that is what Soulherder players just dream of, because like you're not pressuring our life total, you don't have some weird alternate win condition like Thassa's Oracle. All you're doing is just trying to kill us with insects. Like there's so many ways we can stop that. We can get Deputy of Detention, we can get Stonehorn Dignitary, we can just recur our Path to Exiles and Celestial Purges. We can play Uro and just gain a bunch of life and make your little 1/1s look dumb. So yeah, those are the decks that we dream of always getting paired against. And so, I mean, you get like decks like Blue-Red Prowess, they're like way more aggressive than that, but still ultimately trying to win through creature combat. And even though they run blue, they don't run any counter magic. So it's kind of shields down all the time, which makes our ephemerates quite good. And yeah, makes our counter spells pretty good. What beats Prowess? Seems like everything is weak to it. So I'm sorry, Odysseus, maybe you're sticking around to see more Magic. No, I'm just going to talk for a little while, and then I'm probably going to have a snack, and then I think I'm going to the gym this evening. So it's been a nice day. I voted. We're going to get this maniac out of the White House. So if any of you guys are Trump supporters, you can go ahead and unfollow me, because that guy is just a plague upon the earth. So Monster, you're asking like what decks beat Prowess? I think control decks probably do well, right? With all their removal. Like Jund probably does well because they have a lot of removal. I don't know. There's so many different Prowess decks too. Like Mono Red is trying to get you like by turn 3. Blue red is a little more fair. They lean more heavily on their creatures, but they are still aggressive. And then black red actually got significantly more aggressive with the addition of the Scourge of the Skyclaves. That is a deck now that can win like on turn 4 pretty consistently. I think they might even have some paths to turn 3 if they have like multiple Death Shadows. No, I'm not Canadian. I think that might be, maybe somebody mentioned or thought that I was Canadian at some point, but I think I have a pretty neutral accent as far as just accents go, voices go. I grew up with a pretty thick Long Island accent, drinking coffee and eating oranges and stuff like that. But I went to school in the Midwest, and all my friends made fun of me for my stupid accent. And so I started thinking about how I actually pronounced words, and I think my accent has been completely neutralized at this point. So yeah, coffee. When I go to like Thanksgiving with my aunts and uncles, it's just kind of hilarious because those people have like never left Long Island in their whole life, and they're like, "Joe, are you coming to Long Island for Thanksgiving?" Like, what are you even saying to me right now? Cannot understand you. So yeah, Monster, you're gonna go vote today. Today was an excellent voting day in New York because it's like just raining heavily. And so I didn't have to wait. There was no line. It was cool because there were like some people like walking in, but they were like overloaded with poll workers. There were like people pointing you to the entrance door, like 3 people just telling you like it's that door, and then like at the door there were 2 people, like one giving people umbrella bags, one like just telling you go that way. And then there were like 3 people after that telling you go to that table. And then at the table, there were 2 people, like one person just getting your name, the other person giving you a folder with the ballot in it. And it's like, one person could do that. Like, you don't need 2 people to do that. But I guess they did have a 3-hour line like a few days ago. And this weekend is supposed to be nice weather. And I'm sure it's going to like be getting... With it getting closer to the election, I think you have a lot of, procrastinators. And so I'm sure it's just going to be massively swamped this weekend. So, yeah, I know in California, it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, I was explaining to my wife, who's from Spain, how with our stupid electoral college system, like millions of people's votes, like ultimately don't matter, right? Because like, if Biden wins in California by millions of votes in the popular vote, he just gets the electors, right? That's what he gets, It doesn't matter that he gets absolutely crushed. And so anything above 51%, is just wasted effectively. I mean, right now, the way things are, we really just need to blow it out. So it does kind of matter more than usual with our stupid electoral college system that people go out and we do see numbers like states that are like 85-15 against Trump. Like that's gonna send a message. And I think we've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the House now. For the next election cycle in 2024, she's going to barely, like to the month, be eligible to actually run for president, I think. She's a huge political force right now. She carries a lot of clout and is certainly moving the agenda slightly to the left. She was an advisor to Biden during the campaign, and she could have some cabinet position at some point. It could be amazing. Green New Deal stuff coming down the pipeline, new jobs, trying to actually fix the environment. So I guess the point is that with the agenda being skewed slightly towards the left these days, we're gonna have to fight against the Supreme Court, but I think we might actually get away with just packing it, like nuke the filibuster, pass a constitutional amendment that says the Supreme Court has 27 judges or whatever. And just pack the courts. How do you feel about packing the courts? I feel pretty good about packing the courts, actually. So if we get the House, we get the Senate, get the White House, It's not, Obama was like too set on building bridges, right? Like everybody in the country knew that the Republicans were not there to play fair. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when Obamacare was being built in the Congress, they had a series of roundtable discussions in the White House. They invited all these Republican legislators to come and sit at the table with them. They debated points of Obamacare, and it's like, look, these guys are acting in extreme bad faith. They will not even vote on like right now in particular with Mitch McConnell in the Senate. They won't even vote on like the mildest recovery bill. So how do you think that you're going to get them, to balance out Obamacare? In the end, not a single Republican senator, I believe, voted for Obamacare, even after he invited them to the table, and then just like squeaked by. We had a supermajority, and we could have just said, "Screw you!" Like, we've seen how you operate. We've seen that you're just like party before country. So he said, "All right, we're going to do all of this social programming. We're gonna pass centralized healthcare, single payer. Nothing you could do about it. We have a supermajority." But Obama was trying to reach across the aisle. He was an extremely optimistic, bright-eyed. He wanted to change politics, and one person doesn't change politics. It's maybe it takes Trump. It takes Trump just to show everybody like how corrupt and broken everything is. So anyhow. I mean, look. It's time to put some Supreme Court justices. It's time to expand the court, because they all said, I mean, particularly Lindsey Graham with that ridiculous quote that gets shown over and over again on television, where he says, if we're in the last year of a Republican president's term and an election is coming up, you can use my words against me. We will not vote on a new Supreme Court justice. And then, of course, he just votes on it. It's like they just say whatever they want to say, and they do whatever they want to do. And it's just nonsense, from gerrymandering to packing courts to just lying about everything. They are always acting in bad faith. So they wrecked Merrick Garland, right? Like, he should be on the Supreme Court, right? They crowbarred this lady in. So it's like, no, we need at least two more progressive judges on the court. At least. I'm talking like maybe 5 more. Just like big middle finger. Like, let's get like centralized healthcare passed. Let's fix the environment. Just like all of these guys who are just like only run on dog whistles for all the undereducated people in our country. Like, stop immigration, build the wall. We can't have those Mexicans taking our jobs, coming and raping our women. Like, all of that stuff needs to fade away. And it will. It's just, it takes forever. Like, if we look at where we were from like women's suffrage to, the civil rights movement to gay marriage, things march in the right direction inevitably, inexorably. But you've just got these people, whether it's for money or some misguided religious notion, just kicking and screaming, fighting things like abortion and gay marriage, just like things that are basic things in people's lives, like that don't affect them as individuals, but they know that they get millions of votes because there are these undereducated voters who will just, this single issue voters. Like, they don't care that taxes, they're actually raising taxes, or they don't care that they're not instituting any programs to help them. Right now is unique because, I don't know if you guys are still listening to me. Right now is a unique time because the pandemic has actually raised people's antenna as to what government members of the government are doing to sort of either provide relief or to at least act in a responsible way to sort of try to end the pandemic. And so, like, in a normal year, I don't think like even like swine flu was enough to move the needle as far as single issue voters. But maybe, just maybe, we'll get a few of these like lesser educated voters. Yes, they care about abortion, they care about gay rights being overturned and stuff like that, but they also care about pandemic relief, and it's just like Trump can't make it happen. He's not making it happen. It's terrible. So anyhow, guys, thanks very, very much for joining me. Cactus, I'm sorry if I missed you, but I love having you here on the stream with me. Yeah, that's where things stand right now in the U.S. We've got an election on Tuesday, but fortunately, another upside of the pandemic is that early voting has been massively expanded. Every single person has access to a mail-in ballot, which has previously been limited to people overseas or military voters, because people are afraid to go in person and vote. Personally, I didn't feel comfortable voting by mail just because of all of this stuff going on with the post office right now. But anyhow, I think we're going to get there. I'm very, very optimistic. I feel like Trump squeaked in 2016. He barely squeaked his way in with one swing state, and Pennsylvania, he won. I just looked today. He won Pennsylvania by half a percentage point, literally half a percentage point in the popular vote, and then he got all the electors. So you have to think about how many people who voted for him in 2016 are just super pissed off right now. And even if it's 3%, it's going to be enough. But I don't think it's 3%. I think it's like 15%. I think we're going to see quite a satisfying result. But yeah, have a good afternoon, guys. If any of you guys are still sticking around, I am going to just check out who else is streaming on the Card Hoarder Network, and I'll send you guys over there. You can continue watching some Magic. It looks like Yama Killer is streaming, and I like that dude a lot. So let me send you guys to Yama Killer, and you can say hello for Merfolk Joe. If any of you guys are not following my channel, please do that. If you'd like to support the channel, you can subscribe. If you've got Amazon Twitch, Amazon Twitch, what is that? Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it with your Twitch account, and then you can give me a free subscription. So for 15, 30 seconds of your time, you can shoot a couple dollars my way each month. It goes a long way, supports the channel. So with that said, I'll be back next on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Remember to vote if you're in America.